Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. I, the summoner of the dead, will blast the gods. Chapter 1. How many times can we fight in life? If we don't fight today, when will we fight? Today's hard work is for the happiness of successfully changing jobs. Zhang Chen rubbed his head to wake up from the haze. He was now standing in the spacious auditorium of the school. The auditorium was large enough to accommodate 2,000 to 3,000 people. He was standing in the middle of the class. There are some motivational slogans all around. In the middle of the auditorium, some staff members from the Job Transfer Bureau were skillfully arranging the magic circle. Zhang Chen has been in this world for 18 years and has a deep understanding of everything before him. This world is a combination of reality and games. Everyone will undergo a job transfer ceremony when they reach the age of 18. Job change all depends on chance and luck, and there are 3 types: combat profession, auxiliary profession, and life profession. The combat profession is the most valued profession, and the life profession is the profession with the largest base. Once the job transfer is successful, you can enter various dungeons, explore various secret realms, fight monsters and obtain treasures, and even stand alone on the battlefield to gain honor and achieve fame. In this world, strength is respected, and the most intuitive manifestation is level. The higher the level, the stronger the skills, and the deeper the strength. Whether you are fighting monsters or killing enemies in a dungeon, secret realm, or on the battlefield, you can gain experience points to improve your level. After the fusion of games and reality, there are countless ferocious beasts and monsters in the outside world. In the difficult struggle against monsters, the human race continues to improve its own strength and strive for limited living space. After waking up, Zhang Chen and his classmates were all looking at the job transfer circle. Today will be the day that decides their fate. The Baiyun No. 1 middle school he studied in was located in Baiyun City, Zhongbei Province, Shenlong Empire. There are more than 300 senior high school students who are eligible to transfer this year, and all of them will complete their transfer in the auditorium today. Students, today is an important moment for you. I hope you can calm down. Your class teacher must have told you countless times about the precautions for the job transfer ceremony. I hope you can all transfer successfully. After Principal Cheng Rushan gave a brief speech, the transfer ceremony will officially begin. Looking at the students with different expressions in the class, Zhang Chen's face froze. Although his grades were among the best in his entire senior year of high school, his transfer was not based on cultural achievements. There are too many uncertainties, and the extremely low job transfer rate of combat professions also makes most students feel uneasy. Even if you can't change your profession to a combat profession, it would be nice to be able to switch to a powerful auxiliary profession. Some auxiliary professions are even indispensable in the team. Downloading dungeons and playing Secret Realm play a powerful role in gaining benefits. As for life occupations, they are not all useless. The most powerful life occupations can even change the economic pattern of a city. The job transfer array has been set up. Please get ready to start changing jobs. The friendly notification tone came from the radio, and all the senior high school students felt their hearts tighten. Soon, with the help of the head teachers of each class, the order of transfer classes was determined. Zhang Chen is also in the team, and he is somewhat looking forward to what career he will change into. In the past, students with excellent academic performance often changed jobs and became careers. On the contrary, those students who don't like studying and often fail exams have changed careers and become excellent combat professions. The staff member of the Job Transfer Bureau who was responsible for presiding over job transfers was standing in front of the magic circle, took out the list of students, and read out the names one by one. Zhang Liang. When his name was called, Zhang Liang walked out of the class with a nervous look on his face, and then walked into the job transfer formation anxiously. Amid the roaring sound, Zhang Liang's whole body lit up with a faint light. Successfully changed job, career in life, chef. Zhang Liang's face turned pale when he heard this result. Although he expected this result, he didn't expect it to be true. Look at Zhang Liang's face, he has really become a chef. As expected, his family sells molotong. Now he can carry forward his family's business. Cheng Rushan couldn't help but feel a little disappointed when he looked at the students in front of him who had successfully transferred to other professions one after another. They were all working in daily life. He came to the leader of the job transfer bureau who supervised the job transfer. She was a woman with a rather proud figure. Ms. Sushu, you have worked hard today. Ms. Sushu nodded slightly in response. Every year for job transfers, the Job Transfer Bureau will send a supervisor with a high status. Zhang Chen glanced at Ms. Sushu and found that her information was not hidden from anyone. Name: Lin Sushu. Level 55. Occupation: Talisman Master. After reading this information, Zhang Chen was also slightly surprised. Lin Sushu turned out to be a master of Fuzhuan. The level is not low either, with a full level 55. Fuzhuan Master is a very rare auxiliary profession. Whether in a team or in a copy of Secret Realm, the role it can play is terrifying. Often when a talisman with a mysterious effect flies out, the enemy's head can be taken from 100 meters away. Among the team in Zhang Chen's class, a girl with a delicate appearance and a neat ponytail was staring at Lin Sushu with a look of admiration and longing in her eyes. It's Lu Qingyu, the beauty of Baiyun No. 1 Middle School. Her grades in school have always been on par with Zhang Chen's. Are you looking at the campus beauty of mainland China? Suddenly a fat smiling face came over from the side. Zhang Chen saw that it was Yu Dapeng who he knew best in the class. Brother Chen, are you worried about being surpassed by the beauty of the mainland university? Hehe, relax. There are too many changes in job transfer, and no one can say it. But people still have to have some dreams. There is no difference between having no dreams and salted fish. Just like me, my dream today is to switch careers and become a knight. It doesn't matter whether you are strong or not. Being handsome is a lifelong matter. After saying that, Dapeng looked unblinkingly at the classes with more girls, and the longing in his eyes was evident. There was also a legendary figure named Li Xinghe who appeared in Baiyun No. 1 Middle School. He changed his profession to a rare profession, Divine Punishment Knight. Now it is approaching level 90, which is the pride of the entire Baiyun No. 1 Middle School and even Zhongbei Province. He is also the idol figure that Yu Dapeng has always admired. If you just want to transfer to a combat profession, the chance of doing so is really low, and you are at the top of the pyramid. Zhang Chen doesn't like to talk much, and he doesn't have many friends in the class. Yu Dapeng is the only one he can talk to. This also made him feel aloof and arrogant among his classmates. Humph, what's the use of good grades? Job transfers are not based on cultural achievements. That's right, I might change my job to a chef soon. The job transfer ceremony is still going on. Chen Hai, please stand in the job transfer formation. Chen Hai looked excited and stood in the formation with a nervous look on his face. Succeeded in career change, rare life occupation, refrigeration technician. Chen Hai didn't seem disappointed when he heard the result and nodded gently. Chen the next student whose name was called also stood in the job transfer formation nervously. He looks very similar to Chen Hai. Succeeded in career change, rare life occupation, refrigeration technician. There was a buzz of discussion immediately among the crowd. It turns out they are twin brothers from class 8. Unexpectedly, they both changed jobs and ended up in the same life and career. Yes, they are all rare refrigeration technicians. Brothers Chen Hai and Chen can do it now. In the future, they will become high-level technicians and can easily support their family. The Chen brothers, who had come out of the job transfer formation, were very satisfied with the result. Then one after another students entered the process of changing careers, but they were all in life and career. Principal Cheng Russian's face is getting darker and darker. It seems that Baiyun No. 1 Middle School's luck is not good this year. A few more students have completed career changes, but without exception they are all life careers. During this period, several auxiliary professions appeared, all of which were very common types, and none of the combat professions appeared. Seeing more and more students who have completed job transfers in the huge auditorium, Cheng Russian's face turned black to charcoal. On the other hand, the supervisor Lin Sushu on the side still looked calm. She has supervised several job transfer ceremonies, and is very clear about the job transfer rate of combat professions. Seeing Cheng Russian's furious look, I sighed in my heart. This principal is too impatient. Combat professions are not a big deal. He can find a basket of them at random. Hey, why is it so difficult to get a combat profession? There isn't one until now. It would be great if there was a rare combat profession. Lin Sushu couldn't help but rolled her eyes. Now not even a combat profession has appeared. It's better for you. You are still thinking about a rare combat profession. Are you thinking about P? Looking at today's situation, it's pretty good if Baiyun number 1 middle school can produce a high-level combat profession. Lu Qingyu. Immediately after the name was called out, there was noisy discussion among the student team. Look, it's the turn of the campus beauty from Lu University. I wonder what career she will change into. A girl with a ponytail, a slender figure and a pretty face walked out with her chest held high and her head held high. Bai Jia's neck was raised high, like a proud white swan. When she walked into the job transfer formation, she didn't forget to glance at Zhang Chen. In that look, there was a strong smell of gunpowder. Zhang Chen smiled bitterly in his heart. During the 3 years of high school, Lu Qingyu was like a competitive fighting chicken. Every time she takes an exam, she has to compete with Zhang Chen, who has been her opponent for 3 years. It's a pity that Zhang Chen has always won in the 3-year cultural performance. Lu Qingyu is in the position of being the second child in 10,000 years. Even the current career change is full of confrontation, but this kind of confrontation is full of uncertainties. This girl is so difficult to deal with. I really don't know where she got such a strong desire to win. Zhang Chen's eyes were calm, as if Lu Qingyu didn't exist. As a human being, he would not pay attention to such a self-righteous little girl. Isn't it good to be a mature big sister? Seeing Zhang Chen's calm look, Lu Qingyu became even more angry. Humph, what's the air? Miss Lu, I'm going to change my career to a great one right now, and it will shock your eyes. Just when Lu Qingyu entered the formation with confident and high-spirited steps, Lin Sushu, who had been supervising the ceremony, suddenly had a thought in his mind. It seemed that he sensed something from Lu Qingyu. Finally, someone with good qualifications has appeared. Lin Sushu praised softly. Cheng Russian was stunned, and then he felt happy. People like Lin Sushu felt that students with good qualifications would definitely be able to switch to the newbie profession. He was suddenly full of hope for Lu Qingyu. Lu Qingyu had just stood on the job transfer formation when his whole body began to light up with a lavender light. In this faint brilliance, Cheng Russian also sensed a powerful spiritual power. The mental power is so strong. He felt incredible in his heart. Generally, people with such high mental power would eventually transfer to a legal combat profession. Mage. An idea came to Cheng Russian's mind. If he was really a mage, he would be a high-level combat profession. At this time, the light in the job transfer circle began to become brighter. 7 different colors of light, red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, indigo, and purple, surrounded Lu Qingyu's head, making the entire formation shine. Ah, this. Cheng Russian was shocked. This was a strange phenomenon. Something strange happened during Lu Qingyu's job change. The appearance of visions represents a rare profession. Professional transfer successful. Golden combat profession, rainbow mage. Happiness came so suddenly. Cheng Russian rubbed his eyes hard and pinched himself, wondering if he was dreaming. Rainbow mage is recorded in professional books. The 7 colors of the rainbow represent the different colored elements of nature. To put it bluntly, rainbow mage can control various elements of nature to attack. I really didn't expect that the beauty of mainland China would awaken to the combat profession, and its gold. Rainbow mage. This beautiful name actually contains such terrible destructive power. It is said that a high-level rainbow mage, or even a high-level skill, can directly kill a nightmare-level monster. When Lu Qingyu stepped out of the formation, Lin Sushu couldn't help but look at her one more time. Rare-level professions are already considered to be at the top. The professions known in this world are divided into 5 levels: bronze, silver, gold, rare, and mythical. As for the taller one, no one has ever seen it. Zhang Chen. Hearing the staff calling his name, Zhang Chen responded and walked out of the queue. Just as he stepped into the formation, he saw Lu Qingyu's proud gaze not far away. Supervisor Lin Sushu took a look at Zhang Chen and found that the boy was unremarkable and ordinary, so he didn't pay much attention to it. Zhang Chen closed his eyes, cleared his mind, and got rid of all distracting thoughts. Call. At this moment, a gust of cold wind began to blow around, and the clear sky instantly became dim at this moment. A solemn and murderous aura gradually began to fill the magic circle. Lin Sushu, who had always been very calm, suddenly changed her face at this time. There was also a cold, decaying smell in the air. The sky was getting darker and darker, and the surrounding students were lying next to the windows, looking up nervously. I found that there seemed to be groups of black clouds covering the sky above the auditorium. Lin Sushu looked at the frightened students and said, "Don't panic, it's the strange phenomenon caused by this classmate's job change." Her voice was not loud, but it reached everyone's ears clearly. Cheng Russian was anxious and nervous, and his heart was full of great expectations. The strange phenomenon can actually produce such a big movement, then Zhang Chen's profession must be a very powerful profession, maybe it will be a rare profession. Even Lu Qingyu, who has always been competitive, felt a sense of reluctance in his heart when he saw the vision caused by Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen's vision was much louder than what she had just seen. Not only in the sky, but also in the magic circle in the auditorium, strange phenomena also occurred. Anomalies, black clouds surged around Zhang Chen, enveloping him in it, and the surrounding staff were so frightened that they backed away. Zhang Chen, who was in the job transfer circle, also seemed to see something incredible. His eyes were full of shock. The black cloud swallowed up the entire formation, and lit up little bits of phosphorus fire. The faint green color makes people feel butterflies in their hearts when they see it, and it makes people panic when they look at it. Kara, Kara, Kara. The phosphorus fire was accompanied by Anomaly's voice, which sounded like countless bones rubbing and colliding. "Ah, there's a monster." When they saw clearly the undead and skeletal creatures looming in the black mist, many students were so frightened that they turned around and tried to run away. The undead and skeletal creatures roared ferociously in the black mist, and after a few seconds, they suddenly turned into a miserable green light. Directly poured into Zhang Chen's Tianling cap, the surrounding phenomena disappeared in an instant. The magic circle returned to its original state, and Zhang Chen calmly opened his eyes. Transfer, successful job transfer, hidden profession, necromancer, professional attributes, unique. Even the recording staff was a little trembling when speaking at this moment. Hidden profession, it's still the only attribute. Such a profession is even rarer than a rare profession. The only attribute means that there is only one professional in this world. Scorpion Daddy, only one portion. Holy shit, no, Zhang Chen actually changed his job to a hidden job, and it's still the only attribute. Isn't this going to take off in the future? Who said it has nothing to do with academic performance? Look at it, there is a certain bonus. HMPH, so what if it's a hidden profession? In the history of the Shenlong Empire, it's not like there are no hidden professions. That's right, don't forget that the special effects are scary when you appear on the scene, but the final development department is also invisible to everyone, just a show. Necromancer, it feels like I have been dealing with undead monsters all my life. It makes me crazy just thinking about it. It's over. No girl will like Zhang Chen in this life. Although he is very handsome, no girl would like to be with a living dead. Ignoring the gossip around him, Zhang Chen calmly walked down from the magic circle. The anticipation of changing jobs silently turned into the joy at this moment, but Zhang Chen looked calm and could not tell at all. Unexpectedly, he changed his profession and became the only hidden profession, necromancer. Gently open your properties panel. Name, Zhang Chen. Occupation, necromancer, only 1. Level, 0 inches. Strength, 5 inches. Agility, 5 inches. Spirit, 10 inches. Physique, 5 inches. Summon Q, 0/5. Skill, 1. Soul Burn LV1, uses necromantic fire to powerfully burn the target's soul. The higher the mental power, the higher the skill level, the higher the damage caused. 2. Skeleton Resurrection LV1, summons a skeleton to fight for you. The profession of the summoned skeleton is random and is determined by the caster's mental power and skill level. Quote. Zhang Chen took a quick look and came to a conclusion in his mind. To put it bluntly, necromancer is still of the legal system, and the main attribute it relies on is only mental power. The 2 skills in the skill panel also indicate the future development of necromancer. After checking the attributes, Zhang Chen instantly felt an invisible gaze locked on him. He looked up and saw Lin Sushu, the imperial sister who came to supervise, staring at him. Not only Lin Sushu, but also the principal Cheng Rushan on the other side also had glaring eyes. It seemed that many people were very interested in his only hidden profession. And at some point, Zhang Chen felt a faint white barrier appear in front of him, with the characters of talisman flowing on it. You don't need to think about it to know that it was performed by the imperial sister named Lin Sushu. This barrier seemed to be visible only to Zhang Chen, and everyone around him ignored it. A test. Zhang Chen's eyes turned cold, and with a wave of his hand, a black mist suddenly appeared beside him. A skeleton with faint green fire in its eye sockets appeared, holding a rusty dagger with its finger bones like dead trees. There were pieces of broken and gray rags hanging all over the body, and there were brown spots between the bones. It was as if it had been buried underground for 10,000 years and was now suddenly dug up. Question mark. When summoning this skeleton warrior, Zhang Chen saw that his mental power had dropped by half. The skeleton warrior summoned in front of him was extremely shabby and broken. Anyone who looks at it doesn't think it looks very powerful, and is even worried that it will fall to the ground after taking a few steps. Summon. Resurrection Skeleton Warrior. Strength, 8 inches. Agility, 8 inches. Spirit, 8 inches. Physique, 8 inches. At first glance, it seems to be unremarkable and without any special features. Seeing the appearance of a skeleton monster emitting death fire, the surrounding students retreated in horror. They didn't know why Zhang Chen suddenly summoned a skeleton. Bump. The barrier hit the skeleton warrior without warning. Wow. The imagined scene of the skeleton falling to the ground did not appear, but the green fire in the skeleton warrior's eye sockets was even worse. He waved the dagger in his hand and stared coldly at the barrier attacking him. Then he struck the white barrier with his sword as a reflex. With a crackling sound, the barrier broke instantly, and the power of the talisman turned into little bits of brilliance and escaped. Lin Sushu coughed dryly, causing the waves in front to surge. Although it was only a low-level talisman technique, she also suffered slight backlash when it broke. She nodded lightly at Zhang Chen, and Zhang Chen calmly walked back to the class team. When the classmates in the class saw Zhang Chen carrying such a scary skeleton behind him, they immediately made a big vacuum for him with a crash. This makes Zhang Chen more confident in the summons, and he will slowly explore them in the future leveling process. Lin Sushu tried her best to calm down. She is a level 55 professional. The opponent was just a newcomer who had just completed his job transfer, and was not even level 1. His summons were so easy just now, and he smashed his own defensive talisman with one sword. Even if he casts a LV1 defensive talisman, a level 0 newcomer's summons cannot be broken with one sword, right? Lin Sushu also checked the attributes of the skeleton warrior. They were ordinary, nothing special at all. Maybe it was just good luck and a critical hit. Zhang Chen had just successfully changed his profession. Everything has to wait until he reaches a higher level before the data can be of reference and comparison value. Let's pay a little attention to this student named Zhang Chen in the future. Lin Sushu calmed down, and her face returned to the coldness and abstinence of Sister Yu. The job transfer ceremony continues. All go, Brother Chen, your profession is fine. Yu Dapeng was very courageous. When all the students were afraid of Zhang Chen's skeleton, Yu Dapeng took the initiative to come closer. Brother Chen, when you go out to level up in the future, you can summon skeletons. This is equivalent to 2 people fighting monsters, and the experience does not need to be divided equally. There was a look of deep envy in his eyes. Approaching the skeleton warrior, Yu Dapeng groped up and down the skeleton as if an archaeology professor had unearthed a rare cultural relic. Amazing, amazing, no matter how you look at it, it looks amazing. Yu Dapeng just wanted to see the dagger in the skeleton warrior's hand. The skeleton suddenly turned its head and stared at him with vicious eyes, startling him. Brother Skeleton, don't be nervous. I won't steal your weapons. I'm a good guy. At this time, Yu Dapeng's name was called out from the job transfer circle, and Yu Dapeng quickly responded and left. Zhang Chen looked at the summon queue in the properties panel. 0/5. With a thought, a burst of black mist rose, and the skeleton warrior disappeared. Looking at the summoning array again, it has become 1/5. The summoning array is a place where summons are stored. It seems to have the same meaning as the number of hunters' stables. This is indeed a lot more convenient for summoners and reduces a lot of unnecessary trouble. After all, going out with a lot of summoned objects will put a summoner in a passive position many times. Zhang Chen tried it. Putting and taking out summoned objects from the summoning queue does not consume mental energy. The upper limit of the summoning array is now 5, which means it can only store 5 summons. The summoning array can not only store it, but also quickly heal the collected summons. In the future, as Zhang Chen's level continues to increase, the capacity of the array will become larger and larger. I don't know what the maximum array limit will be in the future. But one thing is certain, that is, there will be very, very many, to the point of being immeasurable. When the strange phenomenon occurred during the job transfer formation just now, a scene that shocked him extremely appeared in Zhang Chen's mind. In a vast and cold place of extreme cold cracks, the eternal ice condensed into a towering ice fortress in the middle. On the top of the fortress, stood a huge skeletal throne frozen in ice. He stood on the throne, overlooking everything on the cracked land. Under him were endless cold bones piled up like mountains. Raising the staff high in the hand, the ice field outside the fortress was densely covered with undead skeleton creatures with faint green fire in their eyes. They all faced Zhang Chen's skeleton throne, worshipping their most noble and powerful king devoutly and respectfully. The king of the dead. That is the height to be reached in the future. An indestructible and unstoppable army of the undead. Gods will kill gods, and Buddhas will kill Buddhas. Over there, Yu Dapeng's job transfer ceremony has also been completed. Yu Dapeng, successful job transfer, silver combat profession, Scarlet Knight. Upon hearing this result, Yu Dapeng jumped up from the magic circle with excitement. Woohoo, take off. I said I can definitely do it. I'm definitely qualified to be a knight. Girls, brother is here. When he saw that the girls around him were looking at him like a fool, he quickly coughed and pretended to be a gentleman, not looking away. He said seriously, the knight is the strongest line of defense in a team. If you want to kill my teammates, please step over my body first. Lin Sushu frowned. Hurry down and don't delay the students behind you. Oh, all right. The profession he transferred to is the Scarlet Knight, which is different from ordinary knights and is a white-silver level combat profession. The Scarlet Knight has an extraordinary understanding of blood and can use blood to produce unexpected benefits for himself and his teammates at critical moments. Yu Dapeng ran back to the class team excitedly and stood next to Zhang Chen. Brother Chen, my brother finally changed his profession to become a knight. He got what he wanted. With brothers here, we can form a team to upgrade together, clear dungeons together, and play Secret Realm. Money, beauty, reputation and wealth have all been placed in the depths of the dungeon Secret Realm. If you want it, go get it. Zhang Chen was really speechless for this talkative man. Have you watched too much, One Piece? What, One Piece? Nothing. Zhang Chen shook his head. Soon, all the students in the auditorium completed their job transfers. Among the nearly 300 students, only 15 were transferred to combat professions, 23 were to auxiliary professions, and the rest were to life professions. The most eye-catching ones are Zhang Chen and Lu Qingyu. Lu Qingyu changed jobs and became the golden combat profession Rainbow Mage. Zhang Chen changed his profession and became the only hidden combat profession, Necromancer. In terms of attention, Zhang Chen attracts more attention than Lu Qingyu. Hidden profession is still the only attribute, but I don't know what advantages it will have as the level increases. After a brief handover with Lin Sushu, Cheng Rushan saw off the staff of the Job Transfer Bureau. After the head teachers of each class met, the school made arrangements. Starting from the next day, all students who have successfully transferred will be arranged to enter the Forest of Lowland instance around Baiyun City to upgrade. As for players who change jobs into living professions, high-level job transferees will be arranged to train and improve their skills. This time is only 1 week, and in 1 week, all senior high school students will usher in the college entrance examination. The college entrance examination will determine which level of higher education they will enter. At the school gate, a beautiful silhouette looked at the figure of Zhang Chen who was drifting away from Yu Dapeng in the distance. It's the school beauty Lu Qingyu, she grits her silver teeth. HMPH, Zhang Chen, so what if I hide my profession? I still have a golden profession and I won't give in easily. Let's see who can get admitted to the most advanced university in the empire. The Forest of Lorraine. Novice copy. There are quite a few monsters here, and they all range from level 1 to level 6. The highest monster level will not exceed level 8. After all, level 8 monsters are already terrifying enemies for these novices. This dungeon was a trial dungeon created by the strong men of the Job Transfer Bureau in Bayonne City several decades ago. The purpose is to allow newcomers to quickly improve their level in it after successfully changing jobs. It is much safer than rashly releasing newcomers into the wilds around Bayonne City. The wild is full of too many unsafe factors. These newcomers are the seedlings of the human race and the future pillars. Naturally, they cannot be allowed to die in the wild so easily. After walking some distance, Yu Dapeng touched Zhang Chen. Brother Chen, look, at the school gate, the beauty from Lu University has been staring at your back. She's almost like a star. Zhang Chen didn't bother to pay attention and continued to walk forward calmly. This arrogant school beauty has been giving him a headache for 3 years. Although she is slender, handsome, graceful, and has a beautiful face, she is regarded as the school beauty of Bayonne No. 1 Middle School. But Zhang Chen didn't have any idea. It was just that this college beauty was too competitive. Even if I sit at the children's table to eat, I still want to compete. Fortunately, I walked fast enough today, otherwise the meeting at the school gate would have been filled with smoke again. Obviously, the school beauty who thought she would be the center of attention today changed her job to a golden fighting profession. He was not happy for 5 seconds before the only hidden combat profession that Zhang Chen transformed into took away the light. After failing to suppress Zhang Chen, she felt that she had lost this time again. But soon, the sky cleared up and the rain stopped. After walking out of the auditorium, Lu Qingyu felt that she was okay again. Zhang Chen was too lazy to pay attention to her and returned to his home. This is an old residential building that looks quite old. Grandma, I'm back. After entering the room, Zhang Chen came to a portrait and silently lit 3 sticks of incense and placed them in the incense burner in front. The portrait shows an amiable old lady, who is Zhang Chen's closest relative in the world. She loves him very much, but her grandma left him last year due to terminal illness. Now Zhang Chen only has one relative left, his sister Zhang Ruo. Zhang Ruo is the adopted daughter of the Zhang family. Although Zhang Chen has no blood relationship with her, they grew up together and have a deep relationship with her. Zhang Ruo, who is only 1 year older than Zhang Chen, had already passed the Shenlong University, the highest institution in the Shenlong Empire, last year. It seems that he has to work hard to surpass the admission score of Shenlong University in the college entrance examination in 1 week. As the highest institution of higher learning in the empire, Shenlong University is very difficult to get into, and the admission rate is very low. Only a few people in each city can get into it. If you don't try it, how will you know if it works? Zhang Chen clenched his fists tightly. I silently opened the refrigerator, and there were no ingredients in it. Zhang Chen took out a deposit card from the drawer and went out to buy some food and drink. In order to stay in Bayonne City to take care of Zhang Chen last year, Zhang Ruo was originally unwilling to study at Shenlong University so far away. It was Principal Cheng Russian who repeatedly promised to triple Zhang Chen's scholarship and take care of Zhang Chen on his behalf. Zhang Rukai reluctantly agreed and went to Shenlong University. During his 3 years of high school, Zhang Chen has been the recipient of school scholarships. Triple scholarships have allowed him to live without worries. It is indeed interesting to say that the principal, Cheng Russian, promised Zhang Ruo and kept it. He gave Zhang Chen as much convenience as possible in his study and life. After all, for the entire Bayonne city to have a student like Zhang Ruo pass the Shenlong University, it is a great honor for both the school and the entire city. After buying the ingredients and cooking to fill his stomach, Zhang Chen sat on the bed. Check your properties panel carefully. His mental strength was 10 out of 10, and he had completely recovered. Zhang Chen was thinking about whether to try summoning a skeleton again. At this time, Zhang Chen raised his arm and saw a dragon-shaped birthmark on his right arm. When he transmigrated to this world 18 years ago, he brought this Tao fetus node with him. Under a gentle touch subconsciously, a soft voice suddenly sounded in my mind. Perfect. Zhang Chen was startled. Perfect host career compatibility detected. Perfect talent system is activated. 10 care of, 25 care of, 50 care of, 90 care of, 100 care of. Perfect talent system is activated successfully. The host detection skills are not perfect and there is still a lot of room for improvement. Start perfect optimization of host skills. Reached perfection. Congratulations. The host has awakened the only perfect level talent, Perfect Enhancement LV1. The host has awakened the passive perfect talent, Damage Deflection LV1. Zhang Chen was also overjoyed by the reminder sounds in his mind. He quickly opened his properties panel to watch. Name: Zhang Chen. Occupation: Necromancer only 1. Level: 0 inches. Strength: 5 inches. Agility: 5 inches. Spirit: 10 inches. Physique: 5 inches. Summon Q: 1/5. Skill: 1. Soul Burn LV1. 2. Skeleton Resurrection LV1. Quote. Talent: 1. Perfect Enhancement LV1. The effects of all skills are increased by 10 times on the original basis. 2. Damage Deflection LV1. Deflect all received damage onto your own summons or other targets. The effect is left to be explored by the host. Quote. After reading the introduction of the two talents, Zhang Chen secretly praised them. They are absolutely divine level. Perfect enhancement is like a wall-mounted existence. Just at LV1, it can increase the effect of all skills by 10 times. Damage deflection is a direct transfer of damage to other objects. Judging from the introduction of this skill, it can even be transferred to other players and other monsters. I just don't know what the restrictions are on specific use, and I need to further explore it in practice. However, even if there are restrictions on transferring it to other players and monsters, it is easy to transfer it to your own summons. I can already summon 5 skeletal undead creatures now, and if I can summon thousands or even tens of thousands of undead creatures in the future. Isn't it equivalent to having thousands of resurrection coins? If you want to kill yourself, you must first kill your own endless army of undead. This talent was so shocking that Zhang Chen couldn't recover for a long time. But when I took a closer look at the dragon-shaped tattoo on my arm, it turned into a faint blue color, giving it a somewhat eerie feeling. In this case, let's try the power of these skills and talents in the forest of lowland copy tomorrow. As he spoke, Zhang Chen recited the skills silently, and black mist surged around him. A wielding rusty, ragged skeleton warrior stepped out of the black mist. It supported its body with its dagger and knelt down on one knee towards Zhang Chen. The green fire in the eye sockets is burning. Looking at the skeleton warrior kneeling in front of him and swearing allegiance to him, Zhang Chen found that the texture of its body didn't look much different from the one summoned when he changed jobs. Still looking ordinary and ragged, he thought about it and checked the attributes. Summon: Resurrection Skeleton Warrior. Strength: 80 inches. Agility: 80 inches. Spirit: 80 inches. Physique: 80 inches. You wouldn't know it if you didn't look at it, but you would be shocked if you saw it. Not only does it look the same in appearance, but it has a 10-fold increase in numerical value. However, for warrior skeletons, strength and agility have little effect. A 10-fold increase in physical fitness means a 10-fold increase in defense. Coupled with the previous, damage deflection, skill, Zhang Chen can be said to indirectly possess all the defensive attributes of the undead summons. After thinking about it, Zhang Chen checked the skeleton warrior he had put away before and found that its attributes had also increased tenfold. After looking at his spiritual value on the panel, he found it was enough to summon another skeleton warrior. Zhang Chen waved his hand, and another skeleton warrior wielding an old axe knelt in front of him. The attributes were still increased by 10 times. Zhang Chen nodded with satisfaction, and then put all the skeleton monsters into the summoning queue. After finishing all this, Zhang Chen also began to enter a meditative state. This is a restorative skill taught in schools and most students have learned it. With meditation you don't even need to sleep. After a silent night like this, Zhang Chen woke up the next day with his mental energy restored to full strength. He waved his hand gently, and 3 ragged skeleton warriors immediately appeared in front of him. Armed with a dagger and an axe, they were loyally guarding him. 3. It seems that the number is still not enough. After thinking about it, Zhang Chen summoned another skeleton warrior. Now, both in terms of quantity and attributes. With a tenfold increase in attributes, there is no problem in protecting yourself when facing monsters. Each skeleton warrior has a strength attribute of 80 points alone. Among all the professionals who have just completed the job change, no one has such a high strength. Not to mention that the skeleton warrior also has a tenfold increase in attributes in terms of physical fitness and agility. But until now, the skeleton monsters summoned by Zhang Chen were all warrior types. If you could summon mage-like undead creatures, your efficiency in leveling up and killing monsters would be even more terrifying. Zhang Chen arrived at the school on time. In the auditorium, teachers had already arranged the teleportation array. The location for direct teleportation is the novice copy, Forest of Lowland. After each class passed the teleportation array in an orderly manner, everyone appeared outside the copy of the Forest of Lorraine. Zhang Chen looked up and found that there was a huge crowd of people outside the dungeon, at least 1,000 students. The novice copy is not exclusive to Baiyun No. 1 middle school, but all middle schools in Baiyun City. Students who have completed the transfer can enter. There are more than a dozen high schools in Baiyun City, and nearly 2,000 senior high school students completed their transfer yesterday. In addition to more than half of the students who have become living professions, there are also nearly 1,000 people in combat professions and auxiliary professions who have come to the entrance of Lowland Forest. After arriving, all class teachers in Baiyun No. 1 middle school made arrangements for admission. But principals from other schools surrounded Cheng Rushan, the principal of Baiyun No. 1 middle school. Old Cheng, you have to be the one who wants to be the best. I heard from the Job Transfer Bureau that yesterday you directly launched a high-level combat profession, and also released a hidden combat profession. I don't envy anyone, but I envy you. Lao Cheng's position will definitely move up today. I'm jealous. Last year, Zhang Ruo passed the Imperial Shenlong University. This year's job transferees have more potential. The principals looked at Cheng Rushan with envy and sourness in their eyes. Cheng Rushan was flattered by the compliments from these principals. This year in my first middle school, both Lu Qingyu and Zhang Chen have very good grades and potential. I also hope they can be admitted to Shenlong University. All the principals were startled when they heard this name. This name sounds so familiar, and the surname is Lu. Could it be the daughter of the Lu family in Baiyun City? By the way, there is also Zhang Chen. The girl who passed the Shenlong University last year is named Zhang Ruo. What is her connection with Zhang Chen? Cheng Rushan coughed. Yes, you all guessed right. Lu Qingyu is the eldest lady of the Lu family in Baiyun City, and Zhang Chen is also the younger brother of Zhang Ruo last year, his biological brother. The principals all nodded, with some doubts in their approval. Needless to say, the Lu family is in Baiyun City. It has its own family heritage, and its bloodline is quite good. The most powerful ones are the Zhang siblings. They come from ordinary families and don't have any big backgrounds. They are hard-working children. The students who had already lined up outside the Forest of Lowland were all whispering. Hey, Brother Chen, I'm a Scarlet Knight now, and I'm very defensive. Otherwise, if you team up with me, you will definitely be able to deal with the damage later with confidence. A round face suddenly appeared in front of Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen was startled and realized it was Yu Dapeng. Ever since this guy changed his job and became the Scarlet Knight, he has been making all sorts of noises in the group, which is a bit annoying. Zhang Chen simply chose to ignore him. Unexpectedly, Yu Dapeng still refused to give up and continued to promote himself in front of Zhang Chen. Yu Dapeng was a little surprised, but Lu Qingyu, who was standing aside, frowned. Yu Dapeng, let me tell you, do you really not know or are you pretending not to know? What do you know? Isn't it time to gain experience and upgrade after changing jobs? Teaming up with a team is the fastest way to clear monsters, right? It's much faster than fighting alone. Lu Qingyu rolled his eyes at him. Don't you know that it is very slow to upgrade in a team? If you want to gain a lot of experience in a short time, fighting alone is the best choice. This time it was Yu Dapeng's turn to be surprised. Oh, everyone has just changed jobs, how come you know so much? HMPH. You can learn so much by spending more time sleeping in general knowledge class listening to classes. Lu Qingyu really didn't want to talk nonsense with this guy anymore. This was already mentioned in the general knowledge class in the first year of high school. If two people form a team to kill monsters, the speed will be faster, but the experience must be shared equally. After countless professional explorations, I found that it is best to play alone if you are below level 10. If you are above level 10, it is worth gathering a team to play as a team. At this time, the head teachers of each class appeared and helped them allocate teams. Although the experience is gained through single-player training, there are now many auxiliary professions in the class, and each combat profession is teamed up with the auxiliary profession. Snort. Cheng Russian glanced at the unconvinced look of someone in the team and said loudly, "Don't always think that joining the auxiliary profession is holding you back. You must know that in the future upgrade process, you will not be without support. Why, wait until you need it? You don't usually have a good relationship and just improvise. Do you think it can be done?" Suddenly, many students lowered their heads in shame. We are still in the novice stage now, and when we go to high-level dungeons in the future, we will definitely bring auxiliary professions with us. When the time comes to beg your grandfather and grandma to find unfamiliar professionals, it would be better to build a good relationship with your assistant classmates now. When Zhang Chen and Lu Qingyu were about to follow the others into the forest of lowland, they were stopped by Cheng Russian. "Zhang Chen, Lu Qingyu, you two don't need to form a team with others, you can do it alone. You are the key students of the school. You are going to get admitted to Shenlong University. You need to upgrade as soon as possible. According to past practice, usually within 2 days of being in the novice copy, you will lose experience by killing monsters. Of course, you can also choose to team up with others." Cheng Russian's meaning is very clear. Zhang Chen and Lu Qingyu have complete freedom to control their own upgrade process. But Zhang Chen just glanced at the surrounding auxiliary professions. The surrounding auxiliary professions all showed some worried looks and automatically backed away from Zhang Chen. Most of the auxiliary professions are priests, and most of these priests are delicate girls. During yesterday's job transfer ceremony, they had seen Zhang Chen's skeleton warriors, which were too eerie and terrifying. They don't want to team up with these undead creatures, how terrifying. Zhang Chen took in all this without any hesitation in his heart. When he came here, he originally wanted to kill monsters by himself. He nodded towards Cheng Russian. "Principal, when I don't have anything else to do, I just enter the school and upgrade." Cheng Russian was startled, but when he thought about Zhang Chen's temperament, he understood. His hope for Lu Qingyu and Zhang Chen is to get into Shenlong University. However, Shenlong University is very difficult to pass. In terms of level requirements, the minimum level must be level 12. The higher, the better. According to the admissions levels in recent years, the general level of admitted students is around level 15. Zhang Chen's sister Zhang Ruo also rushed to level 16 before entering Shenlong University last year. There are still 7 days left before the college entrance examination. During these 7 days, it is really not easy to reach level 12. Above level 15, it is even more difficult to reach the sky. In the dungeon of Lowland Forest, the highest level of monsters is only level 9. As the level gap between monsters becomes smaller and smaller, the experience will become less and less. The novice dungeon can only be used by students up to around level 8. If they want to upgrade again, they can only go to the wild to hunt wild monsters. But the wilderness is quite dangerous. Without high-level professionals to guide them, newcomers will be in danger. In the end, Zhang Chen and Lu Qingyu had no support to form a team with them. Yu Dapeng chose to form a shaman priest. Shaman is a very popular profession among the auxiliary professions. The buff effect on skills can also heal teammates. In order to improve the efficiency of the freshmen's monster spawning, the school also prepared novice weapons for them. Zhang Chen is a summoner and belongs to the legal profession. He received an ordinary staff. As a knight, Yu Dapeng received a lot of things, including a short sword and a shield. Zhang Chen checked the properties of the staff and found that it was just a staff without any attribute bonus. It's basically a prop for cosplay. As for Lu Qingyu, the Lu family is also one of the largest families in Baiyun City and does not need the weapons issued by the school at all. Lu Qingyu took out his weapon, which was a pink wand. Zhang Chen was slightly startled. It was obvious that he could feel strong spiritual power flowing on the wand. If nothing else, it is a weapon that enhances mental power. Zhang Chen, we have been competing for 3 years, and now I want to compete to see who among us can reach level 8 first. Both of them knew that in the forest of Lowland, the highest monster was only level 9, so being able to reach level 8 was considered a big deal. With that said, regardless of whether Zhang Chen agreed or not, he turned his head and entered the instance arrogantly. The desire to win is really strong. Zhang Chen ignored it and walked directly into the copy. Entering through the white fog door surging with energy, you enter the dungeon. Different dungeons have different entrance effects and colors. The newbie copy they have now is the lowest level and appears light white. Entering the dungeon, you will see a dense forest, lush and green, and it looks very spectacular. There are towering trees and waist-high grass. Many newcomers have just entered and started looking for monsters anxiously. As a result, with such lush vegetation, it has become very difficult to find monsters. I often search for half an hour but still fail to find a single monster in such a complicated environment. There are many mobs in such lush vegetation, making it very easy to hide. With a thought, Zhang Chen immediately released the 4 skeleton warriors in the summoning queue, and directly gave them the order to find monsters and kill them. Click, click, click. Unexpectedly, these ragged skeletons looked sickly. But when he actually took action, his movements were extremely fast and swift. Their agility attribute has now reached 80. In the blink of an eye, a skeleton warrior discovered something unusual in the grass. He raised the axe in his hand and chopped down neatly. Kill the 6-eared magic rabbit, experience plus 20. When I first entered the dungeon, the monsters I encountered were only the most basic ones. They were instantly killed by the skeleton warrior with an axe without any suspense. This is quite easy. Immediately afterwards, the other 3 skeleton monsters were not far away and raised their swords. Kill the 6-eared magic rabbit, experience plus 20. Kill the 6-eared magic rabbit, experience plus 20. Kill the 6-eared magic rabbit, experience plus 20. Within 3 minutes of entering the dungeon, Zhang Chen saw that his experience bar had reached half. It seems efficient. Zhang Chen and Lu Qingyu had the same idea, first quickly upgrade their level to level 8 in the novice copy. Now it seems that with such high efficiency, the skeleton warrior can quickly reach level 8. After checking his mental strength, Zhang Chen waved his staff and quickly summoned another skeleton monster. Now there are 5 skeleton monsters in the summoning team to kill monsters. Zhang Chen doesn't have to do anything, just wait to gain experience. He simply sat on the ground and began to meditate. 5 minutes later, a golden light appeared on his body and upgraded. After another 10 minutes, there was another golden light on his body, which was upgraded again. Open the Properties panel. Name: Zhang Chen. Occupation: Necromancer only 1. Level: 2 inches. Strength: 20 inches. Agility: 20 inches. Spirit: 40 inches. Physique: 20 inches. Summon Q: 5/20. Skill: 1. Soul Burn LV2. 2. Skeleton Resurrection LV2. Quote: Talent: 1. Perfect Enhancement LV1. 2. Damage Deflection LV1. Quote: Zhang Chen's eyes lit up when he saw the attributes. He didn't expect that after rising 2 levels, the attributes changed so much. What surprised him most was that the number of summon queues was directly expanded to 20 summons. Correspondingly, the level of skills has also been upgraded. First, let's see if there are any changes in the attributes of the summoned undead creatures. In the general knowledge class, it was said that as long as the skills are upgraded, the attributes of the summoned objects will also be improved accordingly. Every time you upgrade, all your mental and health points will be replenished. Zhang Chen waved his hand again, and another skeleton monster was summoned. As the level increases, the mental power required to summon undead creatures increases. Now Zhang Chen needs to consume 15 points of spiritual power to summon a skeleton warrior. The summoned skeleton warrior has also been upgraded to level 2 accordingly. However, in terms of image, the level 2 skeleton has obviously improved a lot. His body no longer looked like tatters and rags, and his equipment began to look complete. When he looked at the attributes again, Zhang Chen couldn't help but be surprised. Summon: Resurrection Skeleton Warrior. Power: 250. Agility: 250. Spirit: 250. Physique: 250. 250. Although this number is somewhat controversial, Zhang Chen was still surprised. The talent of perfect enhancement is so terrifying, it actually increases the attributes of a skeleton warrior to such an extent. Only now Zhang Chen has a deeper understanding of his awakened system talent. Too strong. It is indeed a system that perfectly matches the necromancer. What a surprise. Zhang Chen continued to summon skeleton warriors, increasing the number to 7. Suddenly, 7 skeleton warriors with green fire coming out of their eye sockets stood behind Zhang Chen. The attitude is extremely respectful, just like the younger brothers guarding the boss. Go and find all the monsters in this dungeon. Kill. At Zhang Chen's order, the 7 skeleton monsters were neatly dispersed in the forest, constantly looking for monsters one by one and killing them one by one. The terrifying 4-dimensional attributes have made the 7 brothers extremely powerful. As long as they are monsters below level 8, they will be instantly killed with one move. The strength attribute is a full 250 points, which is simply higher than a level 10 warrior. It can be said that in the forest of Lowland, these 7 little brothers have almost no opponents. While sighing at the powerful attributes of the skeleton warriors, Zhang Chen also realized that he could still summon them continuously. The increase in level leads to the expansion of the summoning queue, and at the same time, the attributes of the summoned objects are also doubled. Kill the pee-pee dog, experience plus 20. Kill the blue slime, experience plus 30. Kill all a rat, experience value plus 20. Every few minutes, there will be a continuous sound of increasing experience, and the monsters will be killed by the skeleton warrior in one move. Faced with a value of 250, these monsters are destined to be crushed. The skeleton warrior kept killing monsters in front to clear the way, while Zhang Chen walked slowly behind. In his mind, a complete map gradually began to be drawn. It is a copy map of the forest of Lowland. Whenever the skeleton warrior passes by, the map will light up. Zhang Chen was also stunned, he didn't expect it to have such an effect. These skeleton warrior brothers, in addition to constantly killing monsters outside to gain experience, can actually draw a map of their current location for themselves. Magic. Another half hour passed, and Zhang Chen's experience bar was almost full. The upgrade is coming soon. When he first entered the dungeon, Zhang Chen was still recovering his mental strength through meditation. Now that the upgrade speed is so fast, there is no need to meditate at all. As Zhang Chen walked, he wanted to test his only attack skill. It's been so long since I entered the dungeon, and I haven't tested its lethality yet. Skill. Soul Burn LV2, uses necromantic fire to powerfully burn the target's soul. The higher the mental power, the higher the skill level, the higher the damage caused. It's just that the skeleton boys were like sweeping away, killing all the monsters they could find around them instantly. Zhang Chen couldn't find a monster to try his hand on, so he couldn't help but feel a little depressed. After searching carefully, I finally found a mist slime in the grass. Finally I found a fish that slipped through the net. Zhang Chen raised his palm slightly, and green flames began to light up in his palm. He activated the LV2 Soul Burn skill. The green flames fell directly on the slime, and the slime screamed and fell to the ground dead. The skill is also affected by perfect enhancement, and its damage is 10 times the base damage. Kill the blue slime, experience plus 30. Zhang Chen stepped forward to inspect the blue slime's body and found no trace of injury on it. Now, he was finally sure in his mind that the soul burn skill hurt the monster's soul. I didn't expect this skill to be a spiritual attack skill. Zhang Chen felt a little surprised, but at the same time he felt endless joy in his heart. Mental attack skills are very rare and have an attribute that is absolutely awesome. It can ignore any defense, even the opponent's physical defense, no matter how high the elemental defense attribute value is. It is unable to withstand mental attacks. Is this the power of the hidden profession? Necromancer is really not inferior to any profession, even the illusory mythical level profession cannot compare to necromancer. While Zhang Chen was thinking about something, a faint golden light suddenly lit up on his body. After upgrading again, after checking the panel, Zhang Chen found that all 4-dimensional attributes had increased by 10 points, and mental power had increased the most, increasing by 20 points. The summoned skeleton warriors were also upgraded accordingly, with their 4-dimensional attributes reaching 350 points. Zhang Chen kept up his efforts and continued to summon the skeleton warrior with his remaining mental power in one breath. The number suddenly reached 10. 10 skeleton warriors with 4-dimensional attributes of 350 points, 350 points. In the forest of Lorraine copy, it is basically invincible. The reminder sounds for increasing experience sounded one after another. Kill the black chicken, experience plus 20. Kill the blue slime, experience plus 30. Kill the wind snake, experience plus 20. Most of the monsters we encounter now are level 5 monsters, and the skeleton warrior can still kill them instantly with one move. On the other hand, Zhang Chen, who was following behind, didn't need to do anything himself from beginning to end, and his experience skyrocketed like snowflakes. At this rate of experience acquisition, I'll be able to level up again in another hour. Compared with Zhang Chen's leveling up easily, other students outside had a hard time killing monsters. The goal for most students on the first day of the dungeon is to reach level 3. In the rest area outside Lowland Forest, Cheng Rushan was sitting there chatting with the principals of several other high schools. Several principals sat around, drank the best Tigenian, and started bragging to each other. Today is the first day of the novice dungeon. I'm curious to what level the first place can reach. It just doesn't compare with the highest records in previous years. A few years ago, didn't Li Xinghe reach level 5 in the dungeon on the first day? Not only Li Xinghe, but also Zhang Ruo was promoted to level 5 last year. The absolute favorites this year are Zhang Chen and Lu Qingyu. Just wait until the end of today and look at their levels to deduce the speed of upgrades. Think about Shenlong University. You need to be promoted to level 5 or above at least on the first day. Otherwise, there is no chance of being admitted to Shenlong University. For ordinary students, the first day is the time to get used to it, so many people can eventually reach level 3, which is already very impressive. The higher the level, the more experience points you need to upgrade. Correspondingly, the upgrade speed will become slower and slower. For Baiyun No. 1 Middle School, Zhang Chen and Lu Qingyu, Principal Cheng Rushan's expectation for them is to be promoted to level 5 or above on the first day. Only in this way will there be a greater chance of entering Shenlong University and reaching level 12 or even above level 12 within 1 week. Listening to the speculations of these principals, Cheng Rushan began to murmur in his heart. He remembered that Zhang Chen's profession was a hidden profession, but he didn't know how high this hidden profession could be on the first day. The time spent in the dungeon is considered to be 12 hours per day, which means it depends on how many levels these freshmen can level up in 12 hours. Boom! While the principals were chatting and speculating, a very powerful aura descended on them. Everyone was shocked. Only Cheng Rushan looked calm and said hello. This is the head of the Lu family, please come and have tea. It's Lu Weiquan, the current head of the Lu family in Baiyun City, and Lu Qingyu's father. After Lu Weiquan sat down, he also exchanged polite greetings with the other principals. His whole body exuded the majestic aura of a superior person. Cheng Rushan made Lu Weiquan a cup of tea. Head of the Lu family, are you here to see Lu Qingyu? Lu Weiquan nodded. Thanks to Principal Cheng's care for Qingyu's 3 years of high school. Cheng Rushan is also very humble. It's not about taking care of him. It's because Lu Qingyu is very smart and talented. This time he changed his profession and became a golden combat profession. Lu Weiquan also felt that he was quite proud. I originally promised to go to school to witness Qingyu's job change in person, but because of something unexpected, I ended up breaking my promise. Alas. The Lu family is a big family, and as the head of the family, he must be busy with many things outside. Master Lu is here now to cheer Qingyu up. Today is the first day they enter the novice copy. In these 12 hours, I don't know how many levels they can reach. If you want to get into Shenlong University, you must at least reach level 5 today. Lu Weiquan nodded slightly. He was very confident in his daughter, especially her attitude of never admitting defeat. By the way, Principal Cheng, I heard that when I changed jobs yesterday, there was a person with the only hidden job in Baiyun number 1 Middle School. I wonder how this professional characteristic talent is. When he mentioned this, Cheng Rushan's face suddenly turned into a chrysanthemum smile. The only hidden profession is called necromancer. It has never appeared before. Skeleton warriors can be summoned as soon as the profession is successfully changed. There is no reference data for the actual combat power. We have to wait until we get out of the dungeon to understand. Cheng Russian said it quite conservatively. He had encountered hidden professions before, but he didn't expect that in the end, it turned out to be a useless profession. Yesterday, Zhang Chen transferred to Necromancer, which didn't seem very powerful to everyone. And when summoning those undead creatures, the first feeling is that it is very sinister and evil. It's normal for Lu Weiquan to have some thoughts. Cheng Russian laughed. Master Lu, don't worry too much. Zhang Chen has a very good personality in school, and his academic performance has always been on par with Qingyu. Oh, by the way, it was his sister Zhang Ruo who was admitted to Shenlong University last year. Lu Weiquan nodded and felt a little relieved. He could still trust what Principal Cheng Russian said. The summoned object is already too far away and cannot go any further. At this time, in the forest of lowland Copy, the skeleton monster released by Zhongchen was already far away from Zhongchen. Becoming stagnant and unable to continue exploring, Zhongchen finally reacted and visually measured the distance between himself and the skeleton warrior. In the end, Zhongchen found that he had to stay within 500 meters of the summoned object. Otherwise, he would not be able to gain experience after that, so he had to stand up and start leading the team himself. This time, shorten the distance from the skeleton warrior. We can't be that far away. Keep it within 100 meters. A faint golden light flashed, and Zhongchen was upgraded again. In just 3 or 4 hours, he had already reached level 4. The mental attribute has also reached 80 points, the summon Q has been expanded to 40, and the 2 skills, Soul Burn and Skeleton Resurrection, have also been upgraded to LV4. Zhongchen was not idle and began to summon skeletons again. Anyway, the summoning array was now large enough. But now, the mental power required to summon a skeleton has become 25 points. There are more and more skeleton warriors closely united with Zhongchen as the center. Forming an army of skeletons, Zhongchen was a little surprised that with this combination, the efficiency of obtaining experience from monsters was not reduced, but was greatly improved. As Zhongchen continued to delve deeper into the dungeon, the levels of monsters appearing inside became higher and higher. A large number of monsters around level 6 or above began to appear. But the strength attribute of the skeleton warrior is now also under the talent of perfect enhancement, reaching a terrifying level of 450. Kill the silver-horned rhinoceros, experience plus 50. Kill the fanged leopard, experience plus 40. Kill the cyclone-winged snake, experience plus 60. Facing the army of skeleton warriors, there is no difference between level 6 monsters and level 1 or 2 monsters. On the contrary, in terms of quantity, the more monsters, the better, as they can be killed more efficiently and gain experience faster. Zhongchen just summoned 3 more skeleton warriors, and now there are 13 of them working tirelessly to fight monsters. It seems that I can almost reach level 8 in these 12 hours today. After level 8, I can no longer gain much experience in the forest of lowland. It seems I have to go to the wild to farm monsters. As Zhongchen continues to level up, the monsters in the novice copy cannot satisfy his experience gain. In the suburbs of Baiyun City, the wilderness there was just right for him to go out and do some solo work. But novices still need relevant permits if they want to leave the city. At that time, you will have to ask the principal for help. Zhongchen continued to go deeper with the skeleton army, and level 7 monsters appeared along the way. As a novice dungeon, Forest of Lorraine is artificially created, and the monsters in it are strictly arranged according to levels, in order to take into account the safety of newcomers. Zhongchen had gradually reached the deepest edge of the copy, but he did not relax. At this moment, his experience bar is almost full, and he is just a little short of having enough experience to upgrade. 13 skeleton warriors are in the distance, faithfully executing the killing orders. Experience increases continue to sound, and the rate of increase at this level is actually faster than before. The number of monsters in the dungeon was fixed, but the number of skeleton warriors he summoned was increasing, and he was killing monsters faster and faster. He has reached the deepest part of the dungeon, and there are monsters around level 7 everywhere, and the density of monsters has become larger and larger. The 13 skeleton warriors are like plugins, they are constantly looking for and killing them. However, after killing so many monsters, Zhongchen didn't find any equipment dropped. It seems that artificially created copies cannot be like those in the wild. They are just for newcomers to adapt and will not provide drops. Obviously, Zhang Chen could feel that the monster's strength was greatly weakened as he advanced. It seems that this was done deliberately to protect the safety of new players. Wait, there seems to be an exception. With a thought in his mind, Luokan remembered that in the deepest part of the dungeon, there were level 8 monsters, the only ones that had not been artificially weakened. Only when you advance to level 8 can you have the strength to face real level 8 monsters. This is also to let the novices clearly know their own strength level, and it is deliberately placed deep in the copy so that the newbies can be mentally prepared. It's considered real combat. A real level 8 monster seems to have a lot of experience points. Zhang Chen's eyes gradually lit up. At the same time, a faint golden light flashed on his body, and he also reached level 5. The skeleton warrior's 4-dimensional attributes also increased to 550, and 2 violent black bears rushed out. The closest skeleton warrior immediately raised his sword and harvested the black bear's experience points. The skeleton army continued to move, waving the swords and axes in their hands, looking for monsters, etc. Zhang Chen suddenly found that his experience bar seemed to be rising a little slowly. To be precise, after reaching level 5, the speed of upgrading is not as fast as before. Previously, killing a level 7 monster earned 50 experience points, accounting for 0.2 care of in the experience bar, but now it is only 0.1 care of, which is twice as slow. No wonder it's so difficult to reach level 12. It turns out that upgrading requires more and more experience. It's really difficult to reach level 12 in 1 week. Zhang Chen thought that even if he could go to the outskirts of Baiyun City, it would still be difficult to reach level 12. When my sister was admitted to Shenlong University last year, her level reached 16. How did she do it? Shenlong Academy, if you want to apply for the exam today, reaching 12 is the most basic requirement. Based on time, I need to reach level 8 in the novice copy in at least 3 days. Then quickly go to the outskirts of Baiyun City to kill wild monsters. The skeleton warriors still had to be summoned. Zhang Chen waved his staff and summoned 3 more skeleton warriors. The number of skeletons in the army has reached 16. Their killing efficiency is too high, and now the density of monsters in the dungeon has begun to decrease. Finding monsters starts to take a lot of time. But Zhang Chen is not worried. Even if he needs to kill more monsters to upgrade, he will summon a lot of skeleton warriors. Even if he divides it evenly on each skull, he won't be able to kill many monsters. With so many guys, it only takes 1 hour at most to reach level 6. Feeling the map in his mind slowly taking shape, the skeleton warrior opened the way in front, and Zhang Chen followed behind. The monsters that appeared along the way were killed by the skeleton warrior in 1 blow. It's just that the forest in front is getting denser and denser, and the trees are getting taller. We have reached the end of the forest of lowland, and the finally arranged level 8 monster is in the depths. Zhang Chen glanced at the panel and saw that the time statistics showed that he had been in the dungeon for more than 6 hours. There is no doubt that he should be the first student to reach the end of the dungeon. In just 7 hours, judging from the efficiency of most students, they have only reached level 3 at most. Lu Qingyu, maybe a little taller, but not too much. In terms of upgrade speed, Zhang Chen believes that he is definitely the fastest. There are 16 skeleton warriors, which is equivalent to opening a plugin. In addition, the magic system upgrade itself is fast, and he is also a magic system summoning profession. Continue to go deeper and see how powerful the level 8 monsters are. Since we are going to the outskirts of Baiyun City to upgrade, it is better to test the strength on level 8 native monsters now. However, the skeleton warrior beside him was obviously faster than Zhang Chen and had already killed him first. Quickly looking for monsters in the forest of towering trees. But after searching for a few minutes, Zhang Chen was a little surprised that he didn't find a monster. What's going on? It's not time for the monster to activate yet. When Zhang Chen was feeling strange, he suddenly felt a black shadow appear above his head. He subconsciously dodged, but it was still a step too late, and the black shadow swept across his back. With a swish, Zhang Chen saw clearly that it was a dark branch. Well, no pain. The thick branches would probably suffer a lot of damage if they were swept away, but Zhang Chen acted like a normal person and didn't feel any pain or itch at all. Just now, I seem to have a strange feeling in my body. It's damage deflection. Talent. Damage deflection LV1. Deflect all received damage onto your summons or other targets. The effect is left to be explored by the host. The harm caused by the black branches to Zhongchen was perfectly placed on the skeleton warrior. Zhongchen's eyes lit up and he looked at his 16 thugs in the distance. With such a divine level talent, as long as the undead creatures he summons are not dead, he will not be harmed at all. In the future, as he summoned more and more skeleton warriors, he became almost immortal. But, what is this deepest level 8 monster? Are these the branches that look like whips? The speed is so fast that an unsuspecting novice might be instantly killed by a sneak attack like this. Chapter 11. Zhongchen raised his head and finally saw the source of the dark brown branch that attacked him. It was a branch on a towering tree. Zhongchen frowned and cast the detection technique on the tree. Monster name: SM Whip Tree. Level: 8 inches. Description of the monster: a strange big tree with strange binding habits. It has many branches and will tie up passing creatures and continue to whip them. Zhongchen's mouth twitched. This big tree seemed to have some quirks. Etc. Something is wrong, isn't it, tying up the passing creatures? Then why didn't the skeleton army attack when they passed by just now? Is it because the skeleton warrior has no signs of life, so it is not considered a living thing? But when a flesh and blood person like himself walked in, he naturally conformed to the habits of living creatures, so he was attacked. Zhongchen was stunned for a moment, and the long branches continued to attack. Zhongchen, who was mentally prepared, immediately stepped back and distanced himself from the whip branch. With 2 swish sounds, the long whip branch could not reach Zhongchen, and then he stopped attacking. So that's it. Zhongchen stopped and realized something. The designer of this dungeon really put a lot of thought into it. The monsters in front of the Forest of Lorraine dungeon have all been weakened from their normal strength. But when it reaches the deepest level, the strength of this level 8 dryad is the same as the monsters in the wild. The dungeon designer further screened level 8 monsters and finally selected plant-based monsters like this. In order to allow novices to feel the danger of monsters in advance, the tree demon has the characteristic of sneak attacks. It can make novices become wary after being attacked for the first time. Moreover, such a whip tree demon cannot move, so novices are not in danger in front of it. As long as you keep a safe distance from the tree demon, you will not be attacked. After Zhongchen tested it, he was surprised to find that the skill casting distance of the legal profession was exactly the same as the attack range of the long-sided dryad branches. This directly eliminates the possibility of opportunism for long-range legal professions, and they cannot stand an output from a distance to kill these level 8 monsters. It can be said that the level 8 monster in front of them is the final test that the dungeon designer leaves to the freshmen. These tree monsters are monsters whose attributes are completely consistent with those in the wild, and they play a role in allowing the freshmen to smoothly connect between the dungeon and the wild. Newcomers can get the greatest training and growth in such dungeons and battles. Zhongchen did not let the skeleton warrior go out to look for monsters. He had already arrived here. There must be nothing but level 8 tree monsters. He summoned back the skeleton warriors, and 17 skeleton warriors rallied closely around him. He looked very imposing, as if he were being protected by bodyguards. Zhongchen commanded one of the axe-wielding skeleton warriors to charge towards the whip tree demon. Until the skeleton warrior ran up to him, the tree demon's branches still showed no reaction. It seems that the summoned objects cannot be regarded as living creatures. With a click, the axe in the skeleton warrior's hand struck the tree demon. Only then did the tree demon react. The long whip branches slapped the skeleton warrior's body, and he also wanted to tie up the skeleton warrior. Amidst the sound, it was like the collision of metals. The skeleton warrior's body-like defense was made of fine steel, making the long whip branches helpless. Whether it was physical fitness, strength, or defense, the values were all at 550. Such a level of beating could not even be considered as tickling. Zhongchen was also a little surprised when he saw that the skeleton warrior couldn't kill the whip branch instantly with just one axe. Logically speaking, after the skeleton warrior's 10-fold perfect gain, the strength attribute should also overwhelm the level 8 monsters. Yes, his eyes lit up as he remembered that this was the true strength of monsters in the wild. So he commanded the skeleton warrior to continue slashing until after 4 consecutive cuts. The whip-shaped tree just hangs. Kill SM whip tree, experience value plus 200. Obviously, a monster of this strength provides much more experience than the previous level 7 monsters. Although it provides a lot of experience, the skeleton warrior is also more time consuming to kill. It is better to kill level 7 monsters to upgrade faster, but it is still a waste of time to find level 7 monsters. Looking at the lush and towering trees in front, they are all level 8 whip trees. Zhang Chen also figured it out. Regardless of the speed issue, at least the density of level 8 monsters here is very high. Here, the skeleton warriors don't have to look for monsters specifically, they just have to spend a few more axes to kill them. It has to be said that when the monsters here meet an undead summoner like Zhang Chen, they meet their nemesis. With just one thought, the 17 skeleton warriors dispersed and charged into the group of whip-shaped trees. The axe and dagger in his hands kept waving towards the whip-shaped tree. The experience value began to rise again. Maybe other students in the dungeon are still struggling to deal with the monsters one after another. Zhang Chen here is assisted by 17 skeleton warriors. The speed of gaining experience is getting faster and faster. Wow! After more than 40 minutes, Zhang Chen's body once again lit up with a faint golden light, and he upgraded again to level 6. At this moment, outside the dungeon, the time has come to night, and the sky is gradually getting darker. Since entering the school, all the students have been in the forest of Lowland for more than 10 hours. Once the 12 hours are up, everyone will be automatically teleported out. The principals of major high schools and Lu Weiquan, who were sitting in the rest area outside, were still quietly sipping tea. At their current level, even if they meditate here for 3 days and 3 nights, they will not feel too strong a sense of hunger. Every year, when the students enter the novice copy, these principals will wait outside. Mainly to prevent any unexpected situations from happening. Lu Weiquan stayed here because he wanted to see his daughter Lu Qingyu for the first time after the 12 hours were over. After all, during the job transfer ceremony, he failed to fulfill his promise to his daughter to come to watch the ceremony. This time, he didn't want to break his promise again. Aha! At this time, a faint brilliance suddenly lit up at the exit of the Forest of Lowland copy. A teacher shouted in surprise, "How could it be possible? Has anyone come out?" They were a little panicked. Generally, the students inside would not come out easily before the time was up. They all wanted to gain more experience inside. Those who came out early may have encountered some accident. Along with a faint light, Zhang Chen walked out from inside. Cheng Russian's face turned pale. Zhang Chen's profession was a hidden profession. Could it be that he was too weak to survive in it? He asked anxiously, "Zhang Chen, why did you come out so quickly?" Zhang Chen said calmly, "After wiping out the monsters inside, come out." Everyone present was shocked. Cleared all the monsters. Just came out. All the principals and Lu Weiquan subconsciously checked Zhang Chen's attributes. It was clearly displayed before their eyes. Name: Zhang Chen. Occupation: Undead Summoner Only One. Level: 7 inches. Cheng Russian's face looked like he had seen a ghost. In 10 hours, it's level 7. He even doubted his own eyes. For a moment, he didn't even react. Such a thing could really be said to be unheard of. Over the past years, the first day of leveling in the novice copy has been within 12 hours at most, and I have just reached level 5. But Zhang Chen spent no more than 10 hours. There are too few monsters in there. You can only reach level 7 after killing them. Otherwise, you can go higher. Zhang Chen's expression was calm, as if he was talking about a very trivial matter. Cheng Russian and the principals and Lu Weiquan sitting around were dumbfounded. What are these words? After so many years, they have never seen anyone kill all the monsters in the novice copy on the first day. You know, those who enter are all newbies who just completed their job transfer yesterday. Not very proficient in combat techniques and skill usage. Apart from anything else, you must know that deep in the dungeon, there is a real wild whip-shaped tree with level 8. With such strong attributes, any novice who walks in front of it will not be able to kill it easily, and some will even be injured. Zhang Chen did it alone. It directly broke the historical record of the Dragon Kingdom. Not only did he kill all the level 8 monsters, but he also directly rose to level 8. After seeing Zhang Chen's attributes and his real level 8, everyone was numb. Zhang Chen was thinking in his mind that the novice copy could no longer provide him with more experience, so he could only go to the outskirts of Baiyun City. Oh, good, classmate Zhang Chen, it's great that you can reach level 8. Cheng Russian finally reacted, feeling extremely excited. Zhang Chen's level far exceeded his expectations, and he finally recovered from the shock. Principal Cheng, the experience in the newbie dungeon is no longer enough for me. I want to go to the suburbs of Baiyun City to upgrade. Zhang Chen took the opportunity to put forward his own idea. The suburbs were dangerous areas and he couldn't get out without the relevant authorization from the school. Cheng Russian said excitedly, "Okay, I will get the relevant authorization documents for you when I get back soon." Zhang Chen nodded and returned to the students' rest area to rest. Walking back to the other principals, some of them who didn't check Zhang Chen's level just now asked, "Lao Cheng, what's going on? That's a student from your school. Why did he come out early? Did he encounter any accident?" Cheng Russian shook his head. He picked up the teacup and drank the tea in one breath, trying to calm himself down. "That is Zhang Chen, who has awakened the only hidden profession in our school. He has finished all the novice dungeons and killed all the last level 8 monsters in them." The other principals were all shocked and took a breath of air conditioning together. Only then did he notice that Zhang Chen had already reached level 7. How is this possible? A newbie can go from 0 to 7 in 10 hours. It's too outrageous. And he also wiped out all the monsters in the dungeon. Lu Weiquan's eyes were also full of shock. Just now, he thought that his daughter was the proud daughter of heaven. Now compared with Zhang Chen, she seems to be very ordinary. Lu Weiquan couldn't help being deeply shocked that a hidden profession with only one attribute was so powerful. "Lao Cheng, this Zhang Chen from your school, the transferred undead summoner, seems to be more powerful than all the known golden professions. I just don't know how strong it is. It may be comparable to the mythical profession. No one can say. We have seen so many golden professions, but who can be as efficient as Zhang Chen in killing monsters? Don't say too much. Before his level is raised, everything is unknown. Maybe after his level is raised, he won't be as eye-catching as he is now." Lu Qingyu's new job, Rainbow Mage, although she doesn't look as eye-catching as Zhang Chen in the early stage, she should have passive talents. As her level increases, she will definitely become stronger and stronger. The principals here have seen many amazing and talented students with many careers over the years. They all perform very well at the beginning, but often after the level rises, the late stage becomes a bit mediocre. This is also commonplace. After each career transfer is completed, as the level increases, one or even several talents will gradually awaken. Before the talent is awakened, no one can predict future growth. Different skills, different occupations, different talents, everything is unknown, and there is no clue on the first day. However, Zhang Chen's current strength is real, and Cheng Russian is definitely optimistic about him. Besides, Zhang Chen's goal for the college entrance examination is Shenlong University. After passing the college entrance examination, Baiyun No. 1 middle school will be a thing of the past for Zhang Chen. As long as Zhang Chen can be able to ride Juchenju within these 7 days, then it will be Shenlong University's business. Lu Weiquan smiled bitterly in his heart. Thinking of his daughter's competitive character, he really didn't know how she would feel when she found out about Zhang Chen's situation. As a father, he knew very well that Zhang Chen's and his daughter's grades in school had always been comparable. But Zhang Chen often ranks first in every exam, while Lu Qingyu is firmly suppressed in second place. Zhang Chen returned to the rest area and began to meditate to restore his mental strength. With the upgrade to level 7, he can now summon 70 summons in his summon queue. And now his skeleton warriors have summoned 24 of them. The next thing to do is to fill up all these queues. It looks like it will take a lot of time. Soon, 12 hours had passed in the novice copy. The students were also teleported out one after another. Everyone has a look of exhaustion on their faces. They have studied theory in textbooks for 3 years and finally started to practice it today. But they also paid the price of injuries. Most of the students had more or less scars on their bodies. Immediately, teachers with therapeutic professions began to come forward and began to treat the students. After dispelling the injured state on their bodies, the head teachers of each school also began to organize the students in their own classes. The staff of the Job Transfer Bureau also made statistics and found that most of them have reached level 3, and a few have reached level 4. Wow! There was a burst of light from the copy's exit, and a slender figure emerged. The wand in her hand sparkled. Although she was exhausted, Lu Qingyu's expression was full of excitement. After 12 hours of hard work in the forest of Lorraine instance, she has now reached level 5. In her knowledge, level 5 is also the highest record in the novice copy. Zhang Chen has definitely not reached level 5 yet. I am definitely ahead and beat him. By the way, where did Zhang Chen go? Lu Qingyu was confident that she would definitely be the first to exit the dungeon. He looked around, hoping to see Zhang Chen's figure, but a pair of pretty eyes were looking around. Finally, I saw Zhang Chen in the student rest area not far away. Unexpectedly, Zhang Chen was sitting there, in a meditative state. What? Lu Qingyu's whole body felt like he was electrocuted. She also saw Zhang Chen's current level information. Level 7. How can this be? Murmur. A shout in the distance immediately summoned Lu Qingyu back from the shock. Ah, Dad, you're here. Lu Qingyu felt happy, but she didn't expect Lu Weiquan to come to the scene. Let's go, Qingyu, let's go home now. Lu Qingyu nodded. With the financial resources of the Lu family, there was no need to queue up here to wait for the teleportation array like ordinary students. Among the entourage beside Lu Weiquan, there was a formation master who summoned the formation. They stood in the formation, and before teleporting, Lu Qingyu couldn't help but glance in Zhang Chen's direction. In his mind, he was still wondering how Zhang Chen could be so fast and reach level 7. Lu Weiquan glanced at his daughter beside him, and he knew very well what she was thinking. Are you still thinking about a showdown with Zhang Chen? Lu Qingyu pouted directly. HMPH, I originally said that I was the highest level in the novice copy this time, but I didn't expect that this guy is already level 7. Why am I lagging behind this guy again? I'm so angry. Lu Weiquan was amused by this look, otherwise Dad would come forward and think of a solution for you. Lu Qingyu shook her head. No, I can solve it myself. Dad, just wait and see my good news. After saying that, Lu Qingyu's serious fighting spirit became even more intense. She was confident that she would never lose to Zhang Chen. Lu Weiquan laughed loudly. Okay, Dad is very happy that you have such fighting spirit, but I want to tell you that Zhang Chen came out earlier than any of you. He came out around 10 hours ago. By the way, he also killed all the level 8 monsters deep in the dungeon. What? Lu Qingyu was shocked. Level 8 monster. Kill them all. The rumbling voice in her mind made her tremble. She had only killed level 7 monsters in the dungeon just now. She has never even seen what a level 8 monster looks like. Even in the dungeon, she was able to kill all the level 7 monsters in her level 5 state, and she felt very proud. But now compared to Zhang Chen, it is nothing at all. Zhang Chen actually killed all the level 8 monsters and released a dungeon in 10 hours. By the way, Lu Qingyu even thought about it, this seems not to be Zhang Chen's limit. There are actually not many level 8 monsters deep in the dungeon. If there were more, Zhang Chen might be at a higher level than he is now. She finally felt a deep sense of powerlessness, and finally experienced the gap between herself and Zhang Chen. Lu Weiquan patted the dust on his daughter's shoulders. Qingyu, don't be discouraged. Every profession has its own characteristics. Some professions do upgrade very quickly in the early stages. But when it comes to improvement, the competition is still in the future. The advantages of some professions will only really show up in the late stage. Your advantages are far from being discovered. Lu Qingyu nodded. She understood her father's words and regained some confidence. Zhang Chen really cannot compare with her Lu family. The Lu family is famous throughout Baiyun City, both in terms of power and wealth. For myself, at least in terms of resources, there is no need to worry about lack of resources. Whether it is props, equipment, or skill scrolls, as long as the Lu family can collect anything, they can call it at will. Zhang Chen, I will definitely not lose. I will let you take the lead now, but I will definitely win in the end. Seeing Lu Qingyu's fighting spirit rekindled, Lu Weiquan nodded with satisfaction. Outside the novice copy, while waiting in line in front of the teleportation array, Yu Dapeng lined up behind Zhang Chen, with a stern expression on his face. Brother Chen, look at me. I'm already at level 4 now. Hey, I teamed up with a few auxiliary professional girls to level up together. Not to mention how happy it is. It's not like you. It must be uncomfortable to do it alone. Hee, look away. After all, the girls are too scared of your skeleton. Zhang Chen was speechless. Is this guy really brainless? Why does he feel unhappy? Without women to drag me down, I don't know how happy I would be. But when Yu Dapeng glanced at Zhang Chen's level, his eyes were as wide as bells. Brother Chen, are you trying to scare me to death? How come you have reached level 7? My eyesight is not blurred. After saying that, he rubbed his eyes vigorously. Brother Chen, how did you do it? It's so scary. Although Yu Dapeng liked playing the harp, he was not mindless. He immediately thought of Zhang Chen. Could it be that Brother Chen killed all the monsters in the copy? His entire excitement suddenly collapsed. Oh, people are really worse than others. I worked so hard in the dungeon with my girl today, and I have only reached level 4 now, but you. His shout quickly alerted the other students, who were all shocked when they saw Zhang Chen's level. Yu Dapeng swallowed, wondering whether he should shamelessly ask Zhang Chen to take him to upgrade. Everyone, get ready, it's our turn to teleport. At this time, a burst of teleportation light flashed and was teleported back to Baiyun City. The next day, Zhang Chen found Cheng Rushan early and gave him authorization to go to the outskirts of Baiyun City. After saying hello to the class teacher, Zhang Chen arrived outside the north gate of Baiyun City's city protection barrier. He had looked at the distribution of monsters in the area last night, and the monsters on the outskirts of the north gate were more suitable for his current level. Once you reach the outskirts, the minimum level of monsters will be level 10. Arriving at the north gate, Zhang Chen turned around and saw a huge building. Baiyun City Professional Trading Hall. He thought that as a professional, he would inevitably come to the professional trading hall in the future. He walked in with some curiosity, wanting to take a look inside before setting off to level up. Zhang Chen had done enough homework. The monsters on the outskirts of Baiyun City were very strong. Of course, the experience points gained after killing are very considerable. Even these monsters can drop some. If they can drop some high-value equipment and materials, then you will really make a profit. However, now that he saw the professional trading hall, Zhang Chen still wanted to go in and take a look. After leveling in the suburbs, the dropped items must be sold in the professional hall. Of course, professional exchanges are not just about completing transactions. You can even receive some tasks here and enter them. There are trading machines lined up in the hall, and most transactions can be completed on the trading machines. Zhang Chen found a machine that no one was using and pressed his fingerprint on the permission authentication interface. Suddenly, the screen began to light up. Imperial citizenship verification in progress. Identity authentication successful. Name, Zhang Chen. Citizen level, 1 star. Contribution, 0 inches. Only professionals can successfully use the trading machine. Zhang Chen's authority is only 1 star, the lowest authority. Different permissions can use different functions in the trading hall. If you want to obtain more functions and permissions, you must increase your contribution. But based on Zhang Chen's current abilities, these are still too far away. He briefly took a look at the items in the trading hall. The variety was very comprehensive, including weapons, equipment, and even materials. However, the price makes people speechless. It was not something that ordinary people could bear. Zhang Chen looked at his wallet and saw that it was too shabby. I can't afford to buy anything here. Equipment levels from low to high are black iron, bronze, silver, gold. This is the permission he can see currently. After all, the money in his pocket now is only a few dozen gold coins, and he can't even afford the cheapest black iron level equipment. However, the purpose of Zhang Chen entering the trading hall was to see what price the materials dropped in the suburbs could be sold for. The level of monsters in the suburbs of the North Gate is above level 10, but it is not so absolute. Some monsters have a wide range of wandering routes. Now that you've arrived at the career hall, let's take a look at the tasks of those materials. Zhang Chen took a look and saw that they were all collecting materials. For example, when collecting crescent grass, 20 plants form a team, and the price of a pile is 50 gold coins. There are also moon rabbit furs, ancient animal bones, etc. The quantity requirements are quite large, and the remuneration is just that. Many professions in life need these low-level, middle-level and high-level materials if they want to improve their skill proficiency. On the one hand, these materials allow them to improve their skill proficiency, and on the other hand, they can also sell the processed products. As the quality of the things produced becomes higher and higher, the income will become more and more considerable. It wasn't until he saw a task on the trading machine that Zhang Chen's eyes lit up slightly. Finally, I saw something interesting. Dungeon mission. Clear the Jade Mine. Mission requirements. Kill the boss King Goblin and obtain the crystal core only dropped by dungeon boss with nightmare difficulty or above. Completion reward. 100,000 gold coins. This final mission reward made Zhang Chen unable to help but feel excited. With 100,000 gold coins, this task must not be easy to complete. The location of the Jade Mine, which Zhang Chen had learned about in geography textbooks, was about 30 kilometers away from Baiyun City. But now he has no intention of completing it in the past. His level is only level 7, and he needs to be a nightmare difficulty dungeon. Normal, Nightmare, and Hell are 3 difficulty dungeons. Nightmare is already much more difficult than ordinary dungeons. Zhang Chen has more than enough ambition but not enough strength. He doesn't have to think about it now. At least he needs a decent team to get through. After browsing briefly for a while, Zhang Chen arrived at the North Gate Outbound Management Office. The guards stationed at the city gate had expressionless faces and held weapons to maintain order. Zhang Chen took out the authorization document proving his identity and showed it to the administrator. Student. The administrator frowned. Only level 7. Although he had a lot of doubts in his heart, he still let it go after Zhang Chen authorized it. There was some murmuring in my heart, why would Baiyun know? One middle school let a level 7 student come to the suburbs. Too dangerous. Freshman, although you have permission to leave the city, you are only level 7 now. I still want to remind you to pay attention to your safety and don't show off. Zhang Chen felt warm in his heart, these guards were still very responsible. When you encounter a strong enemy that you can't defeat, escape quickly and save your life first. Having said that, the guard patiently explained to Zhang Chen the habits and characteristics of some common monsters in the suburbs of Baiyun City. Thank you, I will pay attention to safety. After stepping onto the teleportation formation out of the city, Zhang Chen appeared on the outskirts of the North Gate after a flash of white light. As soon as he appeared, he was slightly startled by the desolate scene in front of him. Thinking that I have grown up in Baiyun City for 18 years, I couldn't help but sigh. Thanks to those strong men who protect the human race has a future. No longer thinking about other things, Zhang Chen walked into the wilderness. The surrounding atmosphere began to become very depressing, and he even saw a lot of blood flowing on the side of the path. There are roars of wild beasts in some dense forests, and there are even many professionals collecting materials and fighting monsters to upgrade. As he walked farther and farther, the outline of Baiyun City behind him gradually became invisible. Started to summon skeleton warriors, summoned one first. Now Zhang Chen has summoned a total of 28 skeleton warriors, but as he just arrived in the suburbs, Zhang Chen wanted to test the strength of the monsters first. Soon, Zhang Chen saw a monster in the dense forest, and Zhang Chen checked it out. Monster name: Goblin Minion. Level: 10 inches. Power: 115 inches. Agility: 51 inches. Spirit: 48 inches. Physique: 110 inches. This ugly-looking goblin was wandering around waving a big stick in his hand. He has the highest strength attribute and a lot of HP. It will definitely take a lot of effort for ordinary professionals to kill him. But now the thinking attributes of the skeleton warriors summoned by Zhang Chen are all at 750. The power value of the goblin minions is completely unmatched. The monsters on the outskirts of the North Gate of Baiyun City are mainly goblins. It can be said that this is the territory of their entire group. Go, kill that monster. Zhang Chen gave instructions to the skeleton warriors. The skeleton warrior wields his axe and faithfully carries out his orders. He quickly rushed in front of the goblin minions. The goblin minions saw someone coming up to provoke them. He waved the big stick in his hand and smashed it down directly, and the skeleton warrior did not dodge. Next, the strength attribute of 115 slightly affected the skeleton warrior. But the skeleton warrior didn't wait for Goblin Lule to take action again, and slashed down hard with the axe in his hand. There was a click, and the goblin was unable to resist, and was struck by the skeleton warrior with an axe. The goblin yelled in pain and angrily waved his mace to fight back. The two sides started a tug of war. You hit me, I'll chop you. The goblin minion's mace hit the skeleton warrior's body without pain or itching, and it caused no damage at all. Instead, the skeleton warrior struck the goblin with an axe, and blood spurted out. Soon, after 5 or 6 blows, the goblin died tragically on the ground. Kill the goblin minions, experience plus 400. Zhang Chen saw something falling on the ground and thought. Drop. Goblin bones. Zhang Chen picked up the package. After changing jobs, each professional will receive a package space. This space will expand as the level increases. It can store various equipment, materials, and things produced by cooking various side jobs. Zhang Chen also had a sudden idea and wanted to put the skeleton warrior in, but failed. After killing the goblin minion, Zhang Chen was able to test the strength of the level 10 monster. It was nothing more than a few more cuts from the skeleton warriors, so he directly released all 28 skeleton warriors. They were still given instructions to find monsters and kill them. After the skeleton warrior came out, he immediately started looking for monsters around him. After all, the suburbs are a naturally formed area, and the density of monsters is far greater than that in artificially created novice dungeons. Zhang Chen felt like he had entered an upgrade paradise, and his experience began to increase rapidly. Kill the bloodthirsty demon wolf, experience plus 250. Kill the goblin warrior, experience plus 400. Kill the silver-horned rhinoceros, experience plus 160. Not only is the experience value soaring, monsters are also constantly dropping various materials and items. Zhang Chen put all these materials into the package while following the skeleton's footsteps. The experience accuracy bar was rising every second, and Zhang Chen felt that it would only take him half an hour to reach level 8. He was glad that his decision to come to the suburbs was indeed the right one. If we continue at this rate, it won't be a big problem to reach level 15 by the time we take the college entrance examination. However, the specific situation still depends on whether after level 10, the experience required for upgrading will suddenly become a lot. Some professionals around were shocked when they saw skeleton warriors appearing. Isn't the main monster here a goblin? Why do so many undead skeletons suddenly appear? Undead skeletons are high-level monsters, and they are very difficult to deal with. After a brief investigation, I discovered that it was a summoned object. The summoning profession itself is quite popular. Those professionals who noticed the skeleton warriors began to track these skeleton warriors. I want to locate the summoner's location through tracking. Zhang Chen also quickly discovered this. He was only at level 8 now, so of course he couldn't let people notice him. Seeing that he was noticed, Zhang Chen thought for a while and directly commanded the skeleton warrior to the depths of the forest. There are many dangers in the forest and the view is not good. Ordinary professionals rarely set foot here. But these crises are nothing to Zhang Chen. As he drove the skeleton through the forest, a map of the area formed in his mind. On this map, every detail of vegetation can be seen clearly. As long as it is a place that the skeleton warrior has explored, there is no secret to Zhang Chen. Half an hour later, a faint golden light rose from his body and he reached level 8. The 28 skeleton warriors were like tireless perpetual motion machines, faithfully executing Zhang Chen's orders. Constantly killing, Zhang Chen gained both experience points and dropped materials. I'm afraid there is no professional in this world who can level up as easily as him. Generally speaking, legal professions will gradually lose their mental power after casting spells, and it is not easy to replenish the lost mental power. Physics professions will gradually become tired after a long period of fighting, and their status will continue to decline little by little. If you want to continue killing monsters and leveling up, you have to rest or meditate. But Zhang Chen's skeleton warriors don't need to rest at all. As long as their master is still alive, they will never die. Half an hour later, Zhang Chen looked at the empty forest. It's not weird anymore. All the monsters were cleared away by him. How long did it take for Zhang Chen to be shocked? All the monsters were killed by the skeleton warriors. In order to find monsters, Zhang Chen had no choice but to go deeper. After fighting monsters and leveling up all the way, he has now moved farther and farther away from Baiyun City, and he didn't even notice it. On the way, even if you can't find level 10 monsters, you can still kill all level 10 or above monsters. Level 11 to level 13 monsters began to appear along the way, and Zhang Chen directly gave the skeleton warrior instructions to kill them. The skeleton warrior's thinking attribute is terrifying. Even if he encounters a high-level monster, it's just a matter of killing him a few times. You must know that Zhang Chen is only level 8 now, but like locusts passing through the border, not a single monster encountered along the way can survive. When it was getting dark, Zhang Chen's level also rose to level 9, and his experience bar was not far from reaching level 10. Nearly 40 skeletons were summoned around him, and they looked completely black. He is full of expectations for reaching level 10. As long as he reaches level 10, he can learn new skills. But you have to get the skill scroll first, but here comes the problem, Zhang Chen doesn't have the skill scroll now. You can only look for opportunities to obtain skill scrolls, but even if you don't have a scroll, there is no delay in upgrading. Professionals in this world can learn new skills every 10 levels. There are two ways to learn new skills, one is to have someone teach you them personally, and the other is to learn them through skill books and skill scrolls. But Zhang Chen's profession is that of a summoner of the undead that has never appeared before, and he can't find a mentor who can teach him. Even learning skill scrolls is a luxury. Zhang Chen browsed the prices of skill scrolls in the professional trading hall when he left the city. The price of level 10 and level 20 skill scrolls is around 100,000 gold coins, which is a sky-high price for him. Skill scrolls are used to obtain the skills of this profession, but there is another problem. That is the characteristic of skill scrolls. Skills learned are random, which creates another possibility. It is possible to learn skills that you already know. If this happens, it means that all your 100,000 gold coins have been wasted. With every 10 levels, the skill scrolls become more expensive, which is a sky-high price that Zhang Chen can't even imagine. But what can be done? This is the only way for Zhang Chen to learn new skills. Wow! At this moment, Zhang Chen's body lit up with a faint golden light. He finally reached level 10 and can learn new skills. Zhang Chen started to open the properties panel to check. Name: Zhang Chen. Occupation: Undead Summoner only 1. Level: 10 inches. Power: 100 inches. Agility: 100 inches. Spirit: 300 inches. Physique: 100 inches. Summon Q: 4100ths. Skill: 1. Soul Burning LV10, uses the fire of the dead to powerfully burn the target's soul. The higher the mental power, the higher the skill level, and the higher the damage caused. 2. Skeleton Resurrection LV10, summons a skeleton to fight for you. The profession of the summoned skeleton is random and is determined by the caster's mental power and skill level. Quote. Talent: 1. Perfect Gain LV2, unique skill, the effect of all skills is increased by 20 times on the original basis. 2. Damage Transfer LV2, all damage received is transferred to one's own summons or other targets. The effect is left to the host to explore by itself. Quote. Zhang Chen also noticed that every time he leveled up, apart from spirit, the rest of his 4-dimensional attributes, such as strength and agility, would increase by 10 points. The mental power has increased a lot, now directly reaching 300 points. What I learned in high school class was that every time you advance to level 10, the attributes of your whole body will increase greatly. The summoner of the dead is a legal profession, and his natural spiritual power increases the most. When Zhang Chen saw his unique talent, his eyes widened. To be precise, I was shocked. The perfect gain was increased by 10 times before, but now it has been directly increased to 20 times after the improvement. This is simply unbelievable. Without doing anything, the skeleton warrior's attributes are increased by another 10 times based on the original 10 times. Zhang Chen even couldn't wait to summon a skeleton and stood in front of him. Unexpectedly, after the increase in growth, the appearance of the skeleton also changed a lot. The bones all over his body are no longer the ragged gray-brown color, but instead shine with a silver metallic luster. It seems to be very hard, and the weapon in his hand is much brighter and sharper. Summon: Resurrection Skeleton Warrior. Power: 3,000 inches. Agility, 3,000 inches. Spirit, 3,000 inches. Physique, 3,000 inches. Skill, violent power LV1, causes double damage to the target. A skill actually appeared. As expected, the four-dimensional attributes are still balanced. After a 20-fold gain, it actually reached 3,000 points. Zhang Chen swallowed a sip of saliva. The attributes of the summoned object now were too terrifying. They were even higher than his own four-dimensional attributes. Zhang Chen no longer knows how many levels it takes an ordinary professional to reach 3,000 attribute points. No, there is no need to know this. In the entire suburbs of Baiyun City, there is no creature with higher attributes than this. Zhang Chen can completely dominate the entire northern suburbs. Moreover, the skeleton warriors also have the skill, violent power, which can cause a burst of 200 kr of damage. On the contrary, this confirms the saying, Great Tao is as simple as a simple skill to move sideways. Zhang Chen is in such a situation now. As a legal profession, a summoner of the dead, he does not have the gorgeous skills like ordinary mages. He is not like a warrior who has fighting spirit and sword spirit and various combat skills. But seeing his attributes like this, would anyone dare to say that he is weak? No. Even if a level 20 professional stood in front of him, they would not be his opponent. It is not difficult for Zhang Chen to kill level 20 professionals by crossing level 10. He has a terrifying four-dimensional attribute and is guarded by an army of 40 skeleton warriors. Even if you stand and let the opponent hit you, the opponent will not be able to beat him to death even if he is exhausted. Seeing that his whole body's spirit level was still very high, Zhang Chen planned to summon another skeleton warrior. At this moment, several swishing sounds pierced the air. Several sharp arrows shot in front of him instantly, and one of them was about to hit Zhang Chen. An invisible light shield appeared in front of Zhang Chen, blocking the sharp arrows for him. It was the passive damage grafting talent that was activated, grafting all the damage caused by the sharp arrow onto the skeleton warrior. There were no traces of injury on Zhang Chen's body. At this time, the skeleton warrior's eyes began to glow with red anger, and he entered a state of attack at any time. Whizzing. After a noise, a man in black ran out of the woods very fast. Zhang Chen intuitively judged that it should be an agile assassin profession. The man in black also saw Zhang Chen and quickly turned around and ran away in the other direction. This process happened so quickly that Zhang Chen didn't even react. After more than 10 seconds, two people chased him from behind. Just by looking at the clothes the two people were wearing, Zhang Chen could already tell that one of them was an archer and the other was a mage. Obviously, the arrow that hit Zhang Chen just now must have been shot by this archer. Fortunately, Zhang Chen was gifted with the ability to cause harm, otherwise, all these arrows would have hit him solidly. These two professionals didn't even bother paying attention to Zhang Chen and chased him straight ahead. It's a pity that the direction was wrong. The man in black seemed to have thought of this and deliberately changed the direction in front of Zhang Chen. These two people definitely couldn't catch up. Within a few seconds, they turned back. After the mage cast a wind spell on the surrounding area, nothing was detected. There is no other way, let him escape. The archer acted very calmly. He can't escape, we will always catch him. Only then did they turn their attention to Zhang Chen, who was aside. Little brother, let me ask, did you see a man in black just now? Zhang Chen frowned and ignored him. Did you shoot the arrow just now? It hit me. Apologize. The archer also reacted at this time and wrote lightly, sorry. Zhang Chen ignored him, but he gave the archer a feeling of great pressure, as if he was facing a strong man who had been famous for a long time. But the mage on the side seemed very dishonest. He found a skeleton warrior next to Zhang Chen and became interested. Is this a summon from the dead? Seeing the skeleton, the mage's eyes flashed with disgust, and he stared intently. The skeleton warrior also sensed that the visitor was evil, and his eye sockets glowed red. Seeing that the situation was not good, the archer quickly said, let's go, don't cause trouble. The mage finally listened to the advice and left with the archer. Zhang Chen looked at the direction in which the two people were leaving, with calm eyes and said, I hope you know each other and save a life. Just now, through the damage of the arrows, Zhang Chen also sensed that the level of the two of them was around level 20 at most. If that mage had dared to take action just now, Zhang Chen wouldn't mind letting him experience the thrill of being instantly killed by a skeleton warrior. There are 40 skeleton warriors in Zhang Chen's summoning queue, and it only takes an instant to summon them all. If they didn't know each other, Zhang Chen wouldn't mind letting the skeleton warriors dismember them. After the two people left, Zhang Chen took the time to kill monsters outside the northern suburbs. Kill the Vanguard Goblin, experience plus 350. Kill the Fallen Goblin, experience plus 400. Kill the Goblin Warrior, experience plus 360. In Zhang Chen's interface, prompts for gaining experience kept coming, and the experience bar was also rising like crazy. Now he has summoned 44 skeleton warriors, which is a huge number. The 20-fold perfect increase makes the skeleton warriors' attributes terrifying. Monsters in this area are instantly killed. All goblin monsters appearing in the area are around level 10 and level 11, and the experience required for upgrading has also begun to increase significantly. Zhang Chen took a look and saw that it had increased by more than 3 times, which meant that the speed of upgrading was now getting slower and slower. Calculated at this speed, the skeleton warrior needs to kill at least tens of thousands of goblins to advance to level 1. Even though the skeleton warriors were hacking away tirelessly, the speed was too slow. Zhang Chen persisted until it turned dark and saw his experience bar. There is still 1/3 of experience left before reaching level 11, which is a bit beyond his expectations. He had no choice but to eat something first. He took out the dry food he had brought with him and started eating. During this period, he planned to stay in the wild all the time. Going home would be a waste of time and there was no need at all. You already need so much experience to reach level 11. How difficult is it to reach level 15? Taking into account the time it takes to rush back, I don't know if I can reach level 16 in 7 days. He suddenly remembered that last year, his sister Zhang Ruo was admitted to Shenlong University after rising from 0 to level 16. How did Zhang Ruo reach level 16? Even if her profession is the wind swordsman, in terms of upgrade speed alone, it is impossible to surpass him, the summoner of the dead. Zhang Chen felt that there must be something he didn't notice. He carefully recalled everything about Zhang Ruo in his memory last year, and then thought of everything Zhang Ruo did at that time. I quickly thought of something. A dungeon. There is a dungeon called the Death Mine in the suburbs. If there is any variable, it must be this dungeon. It is possible that Zhang Ruo downloaded this dungeon at that time. Judging from her upgrade, the difficulty of the dungeon must be at the nightmare level. There are elite monsters in them, with considerable experience. Yes, Zhang Chen remembered that when Zhang Ruo came back last year before the college entrance examination, he looked like he had been injured and had been treated. Sister must be working on the Death Mine dungeon in the suburbs. I must go and have a look tomorrow. Zhang Chen felt that he had guessed pretty well. It was already late at night, Zhang Chen was camping in the wild, and all the monsters around him had already been wiped out by the skeleton warriors. For safety reasons, Zhang Chen hid all the skeleton warriors in the surrounding forest and entered a meditative state. With his current attributes, there is no need to worry about someone sneaking up on him in the middle of the night. The cold wind blows, and there is a gloomy atmosphere in the forest. The surrounding temperature is also a bit lower. While meditating until midnight, Zhang Chen felt the warning sound from the skeleton warrior, and he quickly opened his eyes. You can clearly feel someone approaching in your direction. Zhang Chen couldn't help but be startled. At this point, who is coming? Is he someone who came to practice nearby? No matter what, it always made people feel a little confused, and Zhang Chen became more vigilant. In this world, you have to be alert at all times. In order to heat the food, he raised a fire on the ground, which made his location particularly conspicuous at night. Following the rustling footsteps, the figure soon arrived in front of Zhang Chen. Seeing that face, Zhang Chen was startled. He had seen it in the afternoon. The man in black was the one the archer and mage were chasing. After keeping a safe distance from Zhang Chen, the man in black spoke. Hello, do you have anything to eat? The voice was crisp and clear. Zhang Chen was startled and quickly recognized that it was a woman. Her eyes were very clear under the night. Zhang Chen nodded lightly and handed her a piece of sweet potato. In order to make it easier to go out and level up, he only prepared sweet potatoes and water, which was more efficient. The woman in black did not dislike it, perhaps because the current situation no longer allowed her to have the option of dislike. After taking it, he took off the black cloth on his face and ate happily. It looked like he was really hungry. Zhang Chen saw a handsome smiling face, about the same age as him, full of youthfulness. However, Zhang Chen did not use the detection skill, which seemed rude. After just a few mouthfuls, the girl in black suddenly turned red from suppressing herself. Zhang Chen quickly handed her a bottle of water. She ate too quickly and choked. The two of them sat quietly next to the fire, neither speaking. It's just that the woman eats very elegantly, and she doesn't come from a commoner family at first glance. While she was eating, she stared at Zhang Chen with her big, bright eyes, as if she wanted to find out some secret. Thank you for the food. By the way, what do you call me? Zhang Chen didn't talk easily. The two of them just met by chance. Maybe after eating, the woman left and the two of them never met again. I didn't expect you to be a calm type, so let's do this. We use detection skills on each other. Zhang Chen thought for a while but didn't refuse, so the two began to use detection techniques on each other. In just a moment, a look of surprise appeared on Zhang Chen's face. The woman in black chuckled. You can't find out anything about me, haha. I've seen everything about you. It turns out your name is Zhang Chen and you are now level 10. Wait, let me see your profession. Summoner of the dead, that's strange. I've never seen a profession like yours. Didn't I see several skeletons summoned around you before? Why can't I see them now? The undead summons look so powerful. I said it all here. Why don't you speak? It's not because you can't speak. What a pity. Zhang Chen ignored him and said lightly, why can't I see your message? The girl in black looked happy. Hee, you are finally willing to speak. I want to know why. Hee, it's very simple. After speaking, she spread her palms, and in her white palms, a pale golden badge appeared. The shielding badge, when you wear it, as long as the opponent's level is not higher than your level 10, they will not be able to see your information. Okay, I won't tease you anymore, I'll put it away now, and you can investigate again. Zhang Chen was speechless and used his detection technique. Name, Lin Kyer. Level 19 inches. Occupation, Shadow Assassin. Wow, at this time, there was a sudden sound in the forest behind me. Lin Kyer's expression became serious when she heard the voice. Zhang Chen had already noticed the approaching enemy, and the skeleton warrior had given him an early warning. In addition to the archers and mages we saw today, there is now another knight holding a sword and shield. These three people surrounded Zhang Chen and Lin Kyer from different directions. Lin Kyer wrinkled her delicate little face and frowned. These people are so persistent. They have been chasing me for several days just because of a middle-level skill scroll, and they are not going to stop. Lin Kyer stamped her feet angrily, and then said to Zhang Chen, I'm leaving. If I have a chance in the future, I'll come and play with you again. Whoosh! A sharp arrow suddenly shot out of the darkness, but Lin Kyer reacted very quickly, and she instantly turned sideways to avoid the arrow. However, what was unexpected was that the arrow exploded and split into two beams of light, which shone on Zhang Chen and Lin Kyer respectively. A huge mark immediately appeared above Zhang Chen and Lin Kyer, shining brightly in the dark night, like a light bulb being lit. Oops, it's a marker arrow. Lin Kyer's face turned pale, and she understood that things had become complicated. Zhang Chen also remembered the description of the marked arrow. This is a skill of the archer that marks a target, making it highly visible and unable to go invisible. Marked arrow is very effective for a class like the assassin because it limits the assassin's stealth skills. Moreover, in the dungeon, marked arrows can also be used to deal with some monsters that are good at stealth. If you are marked by an archer, your stealth skills will be disabled, making escape very difficult. You can't escape this time. A sneer sounded, and the mage he had seen before came out of the bushes. On the other side, an archer stood in a tree. Another knight has also approached. The mage tightened his grip on the staff and glanced at Zhang Chen and Lin Kyer with cold eyes. I've already guessed that you guys are in the same group. A dirty assassin, coupled with an evil undead summoner, what a perfect combination. A faint light flashed in Lin Kyer's hand, and a dagger glowing with green light appeared in her hand. He has nothing to do with this matter. I will give you the skill scroll. We can go our own ways and we won't owe each other anything. The archer standing in the tree mocked. Maybe it was possible a day ago, but now, we think it would be safer to kill you. The mage then said, the dead are the safest, so no one will know that we have the middle-level skill scroll, which will save us a lot of trouble. Lin Kyer whispered to Zhang Chen, after the fighting starts, I will hold them back, and you can escape quickly. Zhang Chen looked at her and asked softly, what about you? I am a shadow assassin. Night is my domain. Of course I have a way to escape. Zhang Chen knew that Lin Kyer was just talking. If she could really defeat the opponent, she would not be forced to run away today. Obviously, the other party is more powerful. As a shadow assassin, she might have been able to escape before, but now she was hit by a marked arrow and her invisibility skills were disabled, so her chances of escaping were very slim. The archer said coldly, no need to talk nonsense with them, don't waste time, kill them. The mage raised his staff and released a bright light, illuminating the surroundings and dispelling the darkness, improving the mage's spell hit rate. This is the mage's profession, lighting. More importantly, this lighting technique can restrain the assassin's stealth skills, making Lin Kyer feel very uncomfortable. Every possible way of escape was now blocked. Fight them. The dagger in Lin Kyer's hand shimmered, her body tensed, and she began to look for opportunities. The archer stood in the tree, bowstring fully drawn, ready to shoot. The knight assumed a charging stance and rushed towards them at an astonishing speed. The mage's staff also lit up at this time, chanting some spell. This made it clear that he wanted to kill the two of them with one blow and not let them have the slightest chance to escape. It's over. Lin Kyer turned pale and suddenly pushed Zhang Chen away, pushing him out of the attack range. But Zhang Chen remained unmoved and she couldn't push him away at all. Zhang Chen raised his finger lightly, and a skeleton warrior immediately appeared next to him. The skeleton warrior firmly guarded Lin Kyer's side. Summoning things. It's a waste of effort. The mage's eyes showed deep disdain, and he did not take the skeleton warrior into consideration at all. Great fireball technique. The mage's huge fireball appeared, lighting up the surrounding area into daylight, and flames flew everywhere. Only level 20 mages can use this skill, and its power is extraordinary. If you are hit by such a fireball, you will either die or be injured. Lin Kyer's expression changed drastically, and she quickly pulled Zhang Chen to dodge. The mage obviously had strong practical experience, and immediately cast the mental power entanglement. Lin Kyer, who was pulling Zhang Chen to dodge, suddenly felt Zhang Chen's body become heavier, and was confused. They could already feel the thin lines of mental energy entanglement on their feet, slowing down their pace. The archers were not idle either. The bow strings began to buzz and vibrate, and arrows were shot out. An arrow suddenly split into 3 in the air, and turned out to be third-layer arrows. This is the skill of the archer, which can directly cause 3 times the damage. The knight's charge was now closer to the 2. Ah, this is bad. Lin Kyer's face became paler and she used another force to push Zhang Chen out of the area under attack. Suddenly, 2 skeleton warriors appeared on both sides of Lin Kyer. There were a total of 3 skeleton warriors firmly guarding Lin Kyer, like 3 shields, tightly guarded. Boom! The mage's fireball technique fell on the skeleton warrior, and another burst of fire flew everywhere. At the same time, the archer's 3 arrows also hit the skeleton warrior, and the clanging sound was endless. The knight held a shield and violently collided with the skeleton warrior. The skeleton warrior did not shake at all, but the knight was knocked to the ground. Ah! How could this happen? The mage couldn't believe his eyes and felt that he was dazzled. When he besieged Zhang Chen and the 2 just now, he had already investigated Zhang Chen and found that he was just a level 10 professional. Even if it can summon undead summons, it cannot be higher than the summoner himself. To put it bluntly, the skeleton warrior has a level 10 strength. He is a level 21 mage and can definitely kill the skeleton warrior in seconds. The knights and archers who were shocked by the reaction also seemed to have seen ghosts. What's going on? Suddenly there was the sound of bones rubbing together, 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 30. A total of 44 skeleton warriors appeared in front of them. Not only the mages, knights, and archers were stunned, Lin Kyer was also stunned. His eyes were wide open and his mouth was open, in disbelief. The scene in front of her shocked her very much, and the look of her open mouth was actually a bit cute. She had seen Zhang Chen's skeleton warrior before, and at that time she only thought that Zhang Chen was an ordinary summoner. The skeleton warrior, who was only at level 10, had cracks all over his body and the weapons in his hands were in tatters. It looked like it was weak and shaky. Lin Kaier never imagined how such a summoned object could be so powerful. The enemy mage's level 20 skills were unable to damage it, and it didn't even knock off a single hair. The archer's third layer arrows and the knight's charge are unable to damage it, which is really incredible. Is this really a level 10 summon? It was a bit too strong, and everyone began to not believe their eyes. Even a summoner cannot summon more than 40 summons at once. Groups of firelights lit up in the dark night, and skeleton warriors appeared silently, surrounding them. Zhang Chen, who was surrounded by a bunch of skeleton warriors, had cold eyes, as if the god of death had come to the world. Zhang Chen didn't say anything more. He walked back to Lin Kaier with unconcealable murderous intent in his eyes. Immediately issued an order to the skeleton warrior. With a thought, the skeleton warrior immediately began to take action. The mage's expression changed drastically, his staff shook, and a shield suddenly appeared on his body, trying to protect himself. Energy shield is the mage's signature skill. The higher the level of the mage, the stronger the skills and the stronger the energy shield. It is said that those divine level mages can survive the strikes of forbidden spells safely by holding up their shields. It is the life-saving skill that mages rely on most. The mages themselves have low agility and slow movement speed. Unlike the agility professions like archers and assassins, they have a shortcoming in speed. And now he is surrounded by skeleton warriors, and there is no room for him to dodge. After summoning the shield, the mage felt a little relieved, but the next scene almost scared him out of his mind. I saw the skeleton warrior raising his knife and slamming down the weapon in his hand, and the energy shield suddenly distorted violently. The mage's face changed drastically, and he couldn't believe his eyes. The skeleton warrior only made one slash, and it had such terrifying lethality. What attributes do these skeletons have? Their attack power is so terrifying. There was no time for him to think too much. The second skeleton warrior's knife also fell, and the mage felt that his heart was about to stop beating. There was a muffled sound. The mage's energy shield broke in response, turning into thousands of stars and dissipating. He gritted his teeth and continued to raise the staff. Resist the ring of fire. The mage released a skill again, and a huge ring of fire erupted, and several approaching skeletons were immediately pushed out more than 10 meters by the ring of fire. Before the mage could be happy, he felt a black shadow floating past, and 2 skeletons had jumped above his head. He was never given a chance to use his skills again. A sharp sword flashed, and the mage's head shot into the sky. In less than 2 seconds, the mage died. Not only the mages, but also the archers were being chased by skeleton warriors at this time, looking very embarrassed. In a few seconds, the skeleton warrior witnessed the murder of the mage with his own eyes, his eyes filled with fear. He is much more flexible than the mage, but compared to the skeleton warrior with an agility of up to 3,000 points, his agility is completely inadequate. He kept using his dodge skills, trying to get away from the skeletal warriors. It's a pity that all the efforts made time and time again came to naught. The skeleton warriors pressed forward step by step, and the archers' maneuvering space became smaller and smaller. Compared to the dead mage and the dying archer, the situation of the knight is slightly better. He launched his charging skills again and again, and a burst of energy light shield lit up on his body. It seemed that this layer of light was stronger than the mage's energy shield, firmly protecting him. The skeleton warrior's knife fell on him, and only some fire burst out, but it did not cause any actual damage to him. Zhang Chen narrowed his eyes and knew that this was a skill called Extreme Defense, one of the core skills of the knight. Once activated, the defense will become extremely strong in a short period of time. I don't know how strong it is specifically, but someone has tried it. A level 20 knight using Extreme Defense can withstand the attack of a level 40 mage. Although it can only withstand it for a while, it is enough to show how strong the ultimate defense skill is. The knight's defense has increased significantly at this time. Knights who have mastered Extreme Defense and knights who have not mastered Extreme Defense are like 2 professions. However, Extreme Defense is not a skill that is so easy to learn. There is no corresponding skill book and you can only use skill scrolls to learn it. This knight's luck seems to be good. At this time, the knight no longer cared about fighting and began to run for his life like crazy. There was a scream behind him, and he knew that the archer was also dead. The mage and the archer died one after another, and he was completely frightened. How could these skeleton warriors be so terrifying? It really scared him to death. If I had known he would not come here, and he lost his life for a middle-level skill scroll, this transaction can be said to be a total loss. With a thought, Zhang Chen couldn't let the knight run away, so he gave the order to the skeleton warrior to use his skills. He couldn't let the knight escape. Since he killed him, he would kill them all. The skeleton warrior's sword simultaneously glowed with red light. A violent blow causes damage equal to 200 care of own strength to the target. You must know that the current skeleton warrior's 4-dimensional attributes are a full 3000 points. A skeleton warrior with a strength of up to 3000 points, after using skills, the damage will be doubled immediately. The ghosts of the knights are popping up, and the skeleton warriors are scary enough. They even use skills. This is unbelievable. The flashing red sword fell on the knight. Ah! The white light on the knight suddenly dimmed a lot. Then the second, then the third. The ultimate defense lasts for 1 minute, which is when there is no attack. The more severe the attack, the shorter the duration of extreme defense. Coupled with the fact that the knights now have no intention of fighting, the effect of extreme defense is not very good. Dozens of skeleton warriors desperately came up to activate their skills, and the duration of the ultimate defense was shortening sharply. Moreover, more skeleton warriors have surrounded them, cutting off the knight's retreat. Finally, the knight was dismembered into several parts by the skeleton warrior with unwillingness. Either don't do it or never do it. This is. Lin Kyer hasn't reacted yet. From the beginning to the end of the battle, it only took a few dozen seconds. Zhang Chen didn't even move, he just stood here. After the 3 people died, a lot of things fell on the ground. After the professional dies, the items in the storage space will fall out. The skeleton warrior picked them all back up. Equipment name. Azure Bronze Level Zul Staff, Spirit plus 20, can increase the power of mage skills by 5 care of, available after level 18. Equipment name. Azure Bronze Level Zul War Bow, Agility plus 20, increases the power of bow and arrow skills by 5 care of, available after level 18. Equipment name. Azure Bronze Level Sword of Zul, Strength plus 10, Constitution plus 10, increased offensive skill power by 5 care of, available after level 18. Equipment name. Azure Bronze Level Zul Shield, Constitution plus 20, increased defensive skill effect by 5 care of, available after level 18. Zhang Chen was a little surprised when he looked at the 4 other Azure Bronze level weapons that appeared in front of him. Unexpectedly, these 3 people were equipped with valuable items. The Azure Bronze level weapon shines with a bluish-white light, which is somewhat similar to the luster on the skeleton warrior. Lin Kyer said, "These are all weapons obtained from the Zul Orc Legion copy." A copy of the Zul Orc Legion. Zhang Chen was a little confused. He had never heard of this copy. Lin Kyer saw that Zhang Chen didn't understand and thought about it for a while. The Zul Orc Legion dungeon is a level 20 dungeon outside Baiyun City. These equipments were all exploded from there. Zhang Chen understood. He was a newbie who had just completed his career change, and he knew a lot of limited information. These 4 pieces of Azure Bronze level equipment are of no use to him and can only be sold in the career hall for money. He directly put away the 4 pieces of bronze equipment, but Lin Kyer didn't say anything about it. There were some materials left, such as ferocious beast skins, animal bones, and medicinal herbs. Zhang Chen put all of them into his luggage. When he was out of town, he had seen the purchase prices of these things in the career hall, and they all could be sold for money. After putting away the weapons, equipment and materials, there was something on the ground. Zhang Chen took a closer look. Basic Skill Scroll. Introduction. You can obtain skills below level 20, and it is possible to obtain acquired skills. Skill Scroll. Junior. Such props are worth a lot of money. The cheapest one is worth 100,000 gold coins, which is an unexpected gain. He took the scroll in his hand and looked at it carefully, not knowing what to do with it for a moment. Lin Kyer seemed to notice his doubts. "You haven't used the primary skill scroll yet, have you?" Zhang Chen nodded. He had just changed jobs a few days ago. Lin Kaier smiled. Then you can use it. Although there is a probability of acquiring the skills you have already learned, you may also learn new skills. But looking at Zhang Chen's eyes, Lin Kaier was a little surprised. No, you're not thinking of selling it for money, are you? Are you so short of money? The elementary skill scroll is not a high-level scroll. Why don't you use it yourself? How much can you sell it for? Lin Kaier's family is obviously very wealthy. According to her, 100,000 gold coins is not considered a lot of money. Zhang Chen didn't understand the meaning of her words and still held the scroll tightly in his hand. Lin Kaier asked again, what? You don't know how to use it, do you? Zhang Chen looked at her and shook his head. It's very simple, just hold the scroll and speak. Lin Kaier continued. Just talk. Zhang Chen was a little confused. Seeing his expression, Lin Kaier couldn't help but laugh. Yes, your voice is too soft, you have to be louder. Zhang Chen did not delve into the truth or falsehood of her words and tried to follow Lin Kaier's words. Use. As soon as he finished speaking, there was no movement on the scroll. Looking at Zhang Chen's appearance, Lin Kaier couldn't help but ask, why didn't you say anything anymore? Did you realize that everything I said was right? She was looking at the confused Zhang Chen with a narrow look on her face, not knowing what she was thinking. But Zhang Chen just stood there silently. He also understood in his heart that Lin Kaier was teasing herself, and it was a shame that she still believed in her. Zhang Chen, who had changed his mind, understood everything in his heart and directly tried to integrate his spiritual power into the scroll. Suddenly, the primary scroll burst into scorching light, covering Zhang Chen's entire body. Lin Kaier looked at Zhang Chen with a look of disappointment. You discovered me. She originally wanted to tease Zhang Chen, but Zhang Chen found the correct way to use it. Lin Kaier couldn't help but sigh as she watched the skill scroll turn into a ball of light and envelope Zhang Chen. Acquired skill. Corpse Explosion. Corpse Explosion LV1. Detonate the corpse, causing damage equal to 10% of the corpse's health to enemies within 1 meter. Zhang Chen gained a new skill, and this scroll was not wasted. At first glance, there seems to be nothing outstanding about this skill. The range is only 1 meter. With Zhang Chen's current strength, what can 1 meter do? It seems that the range of 1 meter is very small, but Zhang Chen saw different information from the introduction of this skill. This is a group attack skill. If it were his skeleton warrior, it would be too troublesome to kill the enemies one by one. And even for elites, their bodies will continue to emit energy after death. This is a range attack. As long as an enemy is killed, the corpse can be detonated, causing damage to enemies within the skill range. If more enemies are killed, more bodies can be detonated, creating a chain reaction. As long as his mental power is not exhausted, this skill can be continuously released, causing a lot of AoE damage. Coupled with his natural skills, the attack range will reach 20 meters and the lethality will reach 200%. This is another magical skill. As long as it is used properly, this skill can be almost invincible. The light gradually dissipated. Lin Kaier blinked her big eyes and asked expectantly, how was it? Did you learn any new skills? I learned it. Zhang Chen replied expressionlessly. Lin Kaier suddenly beamed. Your voice is very nice, why don't you like to talk? Zhang Chen looked at her. This woman seemed different from those girls. She is lively and playful. You have a nice voice too. Zhang Chen rarely praises others. It's not that he doesn't know how to communicate, he just doesn't want to say too many useless words. When he lived with his family before, Zhang Chen loved to laugh, talk, and behave very lively. Lin Kaier looked very happy and giggled, thank you for the compliment. After hearing your compliment, I feel very happy. For the sake of saving my life and praising me, I will give this to you. Before she finished speaking, Lin Kaier took out a box and stuffed it directly into Zhang Chen's hand. Middle Level Skill Scroll. Introduction. Can comprehend spells between level 40 and level 70, and has a certain chance of obtaining the comprehended spells. In the professional hall, the price of an intermediate spell scroll can reach tens of millions of gold coins, which is almost 100 times that of an elementary spell scroll. The price is high and the value is priceless. At least for Zhang Chen now, it is an astronomical figure. Lin Kyer once said that the 3 professionals Zhang Chen killed just now were chasing after her just for this middle-level skill scroll. But now he suddenly gave such a valuable thing to himself. Zhang Chen was startled and felt a little incredible. Is this girl so generous? He raised his eyes and met Lin Kyer's big, twinkling, starry eyes. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.